Those are the sounds of the amazing Keith Sweat. I'll give all my love to you from his album, from album of the same name. I'll give all my love to you. You're tuned into 94.4 Spice FM, and my name is Emmanuel Kisengani on this 30th day of August 2019. If you're born on this day, you share a birthday with Warren Buffett, the number 3 richest man on the planet Earth. So happy birthday to you wherever you are. You're tuned into the adults in the room once again. My name is Emmanuel Kisengani, and I want to welcome you. We're going to have 3 hours of the most amazing fun in Radioland that you ever going to have. And as usual, I'm sitting here with my favorite people on the planet Earth.
That is absolutely right. A very warm welcome to you. It's always delightful to have you on board. You're listening to 94.4 Spice FM. We are the adults in the room, where we have no hold bad about any conversation between men and the women who love them. Remember, if you're listening from Nyeri, a warm welcome on 97.9, Malindi, Kijiwetanga, Gede, Maweni and Mulimo. We are live and direct on 97.6. Remember, Spice FM is the first radio coming alive in visual format. What that means is you simply go to your phone or on your laptop on www.spicefm.co.ke, and you not only get to see us but hear us. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolo Money. If you're in the western region, that is Kisumu, Kisii, Kitale, Kakamega, we're on the frequency of 102.5. If you're in Eldoret, Bomet, Kapenguria or the Nandi County, that is 96.7. And if you're the coast, that is 87.9. Join in today's show and plug into our social media. That is Spice FM KE on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Welcome to the show. These are the adults in the room.
And Eric, as I always ask you all the time, if I am in a matatu and I'm hearing the station being played on the sounds of the matatu, and I want to stream us live, you're telling me I can take my phone and stream the show live, right? Direct from my phone.
You could actually have a good look-see at my sweater, which was hand-woven. So you simply go to www.spicefm.co.ke, and we are all smiles waiting for you to do just that, man.
Yeah, Eric, and there's the weekend plan that I was telling you about. Are you a rugby guy?
Not quite, but there are very nice, good-looking women on most of these rugby tournaments.
But this is a plan. This is a weekend. This is a plan you must go for. This weekend, from 31st August to 1st September, Tusker Lager will be taking the party to RFUEA grounds for the 2019 Christie Sevens. Come watch 40 of the best rugby clubs in the country battle it out for the Christie Sevens title. After the rugby, the action moves to the Tusker after party, featuring the Sailors Gang, the Council, DJ Bash, and DJ Kalonji.
That's right. There'll be chances to win instant prizes as you enjoy rugby and the cold Tusker Lager throughout the tournament. Join the conversation online. You can hit us up on our Twitter. Twitter handle is Tusker Lager, and on Instagram at Tusker Lager KE, and like our Facebook page, which is Tusker Lager. Also, don't forget to use the hashtag RugbyNataska while talking about all the matches. Excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health. Not for sale for persons under the age of 18. Do not drink and drive.
That is awesome, Eric. You've said it just like it is. Barbara, how are you doing?
I am great. I thank God for the day. I'm happy to be here and to see both of you. Mm-hmm. It's been a polite.
How was your evening yesterday and your morning today?
My evening was a bit slow. In fact, I realized between yesterday and today morning, I am those mothers or those women that Eric calls that are very clingy. I had disproved that thing, but I woke up today in the morning. Then I remembered 3 years ago, my daughter started school, and I was so excited. But the funniest thing was like, how many people remember when their kids started school? Then I was like, oh, Eric told me those people, those women, and I had refused totally.
Did you call your mom 1,000 times to check on your daughter?
Really? Not 1,000. I just tried twice.
Once at midnight and the other time at 3 a.m.
No, midnight. No. Today, 3 times. Once yesterday. And how are you, Eric?
I'm good. I don't know why I can't hear myself. I'm fine. I think one of the challenges I face, which has been one of the things I actually do not miss about the dating scene. I remember when I used to go on dates, trying in the quest to try and find the one. One of the things that
have you given up?
No. I've taken a break.
Okay.
One of the things that I've been battling with, and I don't envy a lot of people who are on dates about, is meeting people who've got no interests. I don't know if you've ever met anyone, either of you, who does not have any interest.
Yes.
What I mean is there is nothing worse, in my opinion, like going on a date with someone who has nothing to say. So you're like, hey, so how's it coming here? Good. What are you going to have? Anything. When would you like to go back? Whenever.
They
So
don't have-
most people lack interests, and it really bothers me. I don't like people who lack interest, and you don't have to be sophisticated so that you know what's happening in the world of politics, or even go to the G7 notes.
Really,
And start talking
G7?
about what Donald Trump said to the Mexican Prime Minister. You just even if you need dough, and that's what your interest is. I think it's very important that we develop the ability to have interest in whichever area that interests us.
A quick question, Eric. You don't realize or pick these habits when you're actually chatting this person up, or those things don't come out in conversation before you go to the date,
I
so
think-
that you avoid the idea of getting there and getting.
People can give out their phones to have somebody text for them. So I think.
Oh my God, people do
it's
that.
Possible, guys can. So if we met Ana kwa Ana and we are having a conversation, and you can't as much as talk about the weather. You're just yes, no, maybe, I don't know, yes, no. I think it's very boring. Have
Yeah,
you
it
ever
is.
had a date like that?
Yes, it's very
Emmanuel?
boring.
Yeah, I've had days like that, and they lasted as long as long as the conversation, because I wanted to leave immediately.
Yes.
Because you ask those yes and no dead end answers are quite boring.
You people never have those SOS things. Ladies have this thing. If I'm bored in a date, I'm telling a friend, like I'll tell Eric, I'm going on a date with Manuel. But if I text you, just call me to rescue me. Ladies do. Men, you don't do that. We get out of dates. I'll tell you, no, I have an emergency. Someone has called me. My mom is sick. Then I'll leave you there if you're boring.
I think maybe that would help. But even more than that, I think people should. I think interests make you interesting.
True.
I think a little curiosity doesn't hurt. You need to learn your surrounding. You can't just be a vegetable.
Oh
No,
my
I think one of the ways to conversate, especially when you meet someone who you've never met before, is you ask them what their interests are. Like if I meet Barbara for the first time, I'll ask her something like, "Hey, so which movie have you watched lately?" And then maybe we can have a back and forth about movies. And then
I once met-
I think
After
that's what Eric is saying.
yeah, after
that there are
that, I
people,
ask
even
you-
if you try that, their answers are very short, precise. They have nothing to talk about.
You see, the
That's what
idea-
Eric is
the
saying.
idea of conversation, Emmanuel, is that you speak and then I respond.
Yes.
And ask a question. I once went on a date and we were having coffee, and I asked this lady, first time we were meeting, never met her again. I said, "Oh, so hi, how's your day?" "Good." I said, "Oh, that's interesting. Did you, so how is accounts?" Because she told me she's an accountant. So I said, "Is it something you'd always wanted to do, accounts?" "Yes." "All right. Okay. Would you like something with your coffee?" "No." So I had to turn and tell her, "Listen, for us to have a quality conversation."
said lecturing.
Yeah, so I started
No,
lecturing.
I will. You say lecturing.
Yeah, so I came across like a big professor. So I said, "No, we can't come here. This is not a questionnaire."
So did you coach her and leave, Ama? You just
No,
coach
yeah, I
her?
actually left. I paid. I told her this is very bad. Next time when you're meeting somebody else and it won't be me,
Because you are not coming
try
back.
and show some interest, even when
Basic.
asking questions.
Yeah.
The Lion.
Now to the adults in the room, and this is 94.4 Spice FM, the home of soul and authentic conversation. And if you're in Nairobi, the frequency still is 94.4. If you're in the environs of Nairobi, Kitengela, places like when you're driving towards Kisaju, places like Wangige, the frequency still is 94.4 Spice FM.
That is absolutely right. Remember, Spice FM is the first radio coming alive in visual format. What that means is on your PC right now, wherever you are, in Kenya or in the great continent of Africa, simply go to www.spicefm.co.ke and you not only get to see us, but also hear us. A very warm welcome to you in Kisumu, Obunga, Riat, Manyata, Mamboleo on our very good and strong and clear frequency, which is 102.5.
I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolomani. I also invite you to plug into our social media handles, that is Spice FM KE on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are the home of authentic, and I mean authentic, real music, real conversations, rhythm, and blues.
And wherever you are, remember you can stream the show live. Just as Eric said yesterday, we got a caller all the way from Mogadishu, Somalia.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Absolutely.
So wherever you are in the planet, even if you're in Gabon, the
If
richest.
you're in Algiers, all the way down in Algeria, which is the biggest country by area.
Yeah, but
Entire Africa, or if you're down in South Africa and Central African Republic, I was telling you, are the two countries that supply half of diamond globally.
Yeah, but I remember you telling us yesterday. I learned that yesterday from you.
Yeah, so it's amazing, man.
Emmanuel, there's something I've just thought about when Eric was saying about people being very boring in dates. I was just wondering, have also men become very boring in their dates? Because majority of women, like single women who are dating that I speak to, they'll tell you once a guy dates you or you're chatting with him, then he tells you, when are you visiting me? Unakam kwangu siku gani? And I'm always wondering, are you sick? Are you admitted? Why are we always going to visit you? Why can't we just go out for a date? So despite people being boring on dates, I feel that sometimes men have become lazy. You want me to come and watch movies at your place, watch telly. What makes you think I don't have a telly at my house?
So let me ask you a question, Barbara. You think the guy is calling into his place for you to watch movies?
No, that is why we are against it as ladies.
No, I think it's bad manners, man.
But men say that, when are you visiting me? When are you coming? You cook for me? And I'm like, hell, I'm not a caterer.
No, I think they want to cook for you. And maybe
No,
you'll
but
be
why
part of
can't
the
you go
dish.
to a restaurant first? Why? We need to know each other. I'll take what Eric says in a different show. He once said, "Don't be very quick to jump into people's houses. Take time." And I feel like some men have become lazy.
No,
They don't want to date. They want it because you've had a long week. So at home, yes, I understand you want to chill, but if you want to chill, don't date. Stop inviting people haphazardly to your homes.
Yeah, I think that's how many people get robbed because of inviting strangers to their
Thank
houses.
you.
So I think maybe meet first in an open place like a whole pack.
Okay, now you're pushing it. Why can't you take me to a restaurant? You take me to
And
Uhuru
from
Park.
there, I can invite you to my house.
Yeah, I guess. But also, I think a lot of women have been going. That's why men keep inviting.
Oh, so they don't find, they're like, why are you refusing?
Chukua pikipiki. Uko hapo Kencom? Chukua pikipiki. Wefika tu buru then uniambia. I think that's why. But I think what Barbara is saying is the idea to meet on the first date in your house is preposterous.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to meet in a cafeteria or in a public place. Get to know the person
Yes.
before you invite them over. Most guys can really bombard you with katakata maini.
Imagine.
Kati hizo maini ukioshaga hizo mboga. That's true.
But I tell you, the funny person is actually the person cutting that maini and washing those clothes.
But chicks can also be funny. You know, a chick can leave you and go to Kitale and
Are
ask
you
what
serious?
she will wear. Cheki Kitale sahi kunanyesha babe, and you met her on Tuesday.
And she wants to go with you to Kitale.
Yeah, then
Chiki nichukue hizi shuttle ama nichukue gadi?
Cheki
No,
nichukue mat
you guys
za
are pushing
Salga.
it. Women don't do that.
Tunaenda Salga baby.
Chiki wameni drop Salga by mistake nifanye.
And then you can even tell that particular woman after Kitale you're going to Namanga and she'll go. Cheki so Namanga tunaenda when?
No, let me ask you, these women don't have lives.
Exactly.
I think they're young.
I think the reason
mature
why
women wouldn't do that.
The reason why mature, if you try them hard enough with a trip to Dubai, they'll go.
Yeah, maybe it's a destination.
Yeah, it's
that's
a
the problem.
destination now.
Barbara, you didn't shoot to Dubai?
Okay,
We are not
Tuesday's
talking
a
about
bit
me.
tricky, but okay, Friday dubs and then
And yes.
yeah, it's strange.
Chiki, I'm at the airport. It's written over here, Sultan Hamud. Sheikh Mohammed.
You're nasty, guys.
I'll tell you how I am.
How are you, my darling?
I went and visited a friend of mine with my wife once in Langata. And I wish I didn't say where it was, because now that guy, if he's listening, he knows it.
He knows it.
But yeah, she has many friends in Langata.
Yeah, she
Maybe-
has actually. She has. Langata is a very huge place, all the way to near Rongai.
Don't emphasize on the venue.
So I tell you what, I went there and we stopped by a supermarket and we bought some milk and some bread and some few things which we thought they'd need. And we went to his place and we had a nice time, you know. And then a couple of months later, I invited him over to my place in Kitengela for some, you know, family event. But I also invited my friends also.
Yes.
And he came just the way he was born, but now with clothes.
Are you trying to say he didn't even come with
He
milk?
didn't come with anything. And then he was eating. Okay, I don't know why I was observing. That was bad observing how he was eating.
Yes, that was bad.
But I think when you visit someone, and especially when you're reciprocating a visit, you see, when you're reciprocating a visit, at least try and go with something. You can't land like a chopper, you know. At least a chopper lands with fuel. You can't just land without anything. Pass through the shop, buy some milk, buy some bread, you know. As in, come with
Are you feeling bad that the person didn't come with something and you went with something?
No, as in, I'm feeling bad that is bad manners. The way I was brought up and
Yes.
the things I used to observe. People, my mom told me, when you go to someone's house, go with something. Go
That's
with
true.
milk. If you don't have money for milk, go with a donut. Just go with. You can't just go with yourself and your mouth.
But
and I remember
it's a Kenyan culture. There are people who don't carry
it
anything.
is actually. I remember when I was growing up, we used to have these visitors who like relatives who live in Nairobi also.
Yes.
So they'd come to our place with their children as a weekend plan. You see the way you can go with your children, say, to a restaurant or to a mall to hang out. So they'd come with their children to hang out at our place. And
But
then
maybe
they
you
eat.
guys are close to them. It depends. He didn't feel the need, or maybe he didn't have the
Coming
money.
is not a problem, but come with something. Especially if you come with your 4 kids. You can't come to...
Don't come and spoil Emmanuel's budget. But I get what you're saying.
My mother used to say that when you visit anyone, you can even take lemon. You can take lemon, provided you've entered somebody's house. She used to say, even take lemon or lime, or oranges. So it's
And in Africa,
it's a terrible African habit, especially Kenya. But when I was living down in Mzanzi,
South Africa.
I used to see when we go to a friend's house during braai, you carry, say, a 6-pack of whatever beer they like, or a bottle of something,
Of fruits.
or you carry borovos, or you carry sausages and so on and so forth.
Something
Here-
to contribute to the bride.
Yes, here people show up to eat, and then they leave, and then they eat very generously, and then
I
they
think
also
it's our culture.
while also eating, they also have a monstrous appetite. They'll even ask you for soup. Cheki supu ndio ni kama ijatosha, and they came like that. So I think it's a terrible habit.
And then should you really visit to satisfy hunger? Like that can't be... the
No, but
purpose.
you
I
invited
remember
them
my
for a
moth-
party.
my
You
mother-
invited them for a party.
No, yes.
So they have left their homes without eating.
Okay, wachana even with those guys. Say I'm going to visit you at your place. Should
Yes.
I come to satisfy my hunger at your place?
I think my
That can
mother-
be my end
mother,
game.
I do agree with you, but maybe people have problems out here, guys. People
My
have
mother
problems.
used to say to my sisters that if a guy invites you on a date, this is my mother's wisdom. She went to be with the Lord. I miss her dearly, but she used to say this. She said, Bonita and Irene and Cindy, these are my sisters, sit down. Now, when a guy invites you to a date, we have a big fridge here with food. Now, what you do is, if the date is at 2 o'clock or even at night, make yourself an omelette or a sandwich.
Yes.
And then shower nicely. Make sure you have your money. All right. Dress up, and then you go for the date. But don't go on the date and start showing your gluttonous hunger. You don't start chowing food every.
Your mother was very right.
Hey, na pant, nipe sausage nianze nayo. Let me start with the sausage. Okay, while the sausage is coming, give me a milkshake. Wow. That is bad manners.
But that is right. I also say, even right now, I don't go on a date. I don't go on any date if I don't have money. If I don't have money, I'll just tell you, I'm not available. It's actually good manners to have your own money, because you never know. You might be told to pay half of the bill.
Not even that. Also eat first, maybe where you're going. You know the way people who now concentrate on the food more than the date. Check it. What happened to your tartar sauce? Where is your tartar sauce? I love the nyanya is not enough. So you're now paying so much attention on the food.
But most people go on dates to eat.
I guess.
Most people go on dates to eat, or just to sample restaurants or menus, something like that.
But to go back to your story, it's good manners. And the person listening, I want to urge you, when you have a plan tomorrow, I'm sure you've been visited somewhere, to carry 2 packets of milk and even the biscuit for the baby to the person you're going
or
to
fruits,
see. Yeah, it will
especially if
cost
it's
you maybe-
Emmanuel. Please,
If-
you're
if-
upsetting him.
If you're going to see somebody, even just set aside 300 shillings. Say, enyewe na nilikuletea na skari quarter. It's good manners. It shows I appreciate your invitation.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for thinking of me enough to call me to your house. But showing there with smelly shoes and a monstrous appetite, your shoes are smelling, you're scratching your stomach, and you look funny. That is very bad.
But I was thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe Eric is traumatized by guests because of this habit.
But you know, Eric
Like
has already
maybe the
open.
reason, maybe these guests over the years have traumatized even me. As I was growing up, they've traumatized you by coming to nyonya you kabisa. Until now, when you grow up, you're not even keen on guests. Listen, if I come to your house,
But
Barbara,
then I wouldn't mind
No,
if you
listen.
came with anything.
No,
I'll be
no,
very
no,
honest
no.
with you.
Listen, if I
I'm
came-
so used to it.
but
I'm okay.
But if I come to your house,
Not in a bad way.
If I come to your house with very nice, generous shopping, all
Yes.
right, I go to the supermarket, I buy grains, I buy sugar,
Yes.
I buy everything that I think you need.
Yes.
And I come to your house, and the first thing I do is I put it up at the door as I salamia your
Yes.
little one. Eh?
Yes.
You know, you'll feel so good. Like, you'll be like, hey,
Yes.
you'll even treat me better
Yes.
as your guest. And
That
then
is
you'll
true.
want me.
And I'll also want to reciprocate. But you
Yes.
see, that is me and you. I do agree with what you're saying. However, not everyone is like that. I also have gone through the same scenario. There's a time a friend of mine gave birth. And she gave birth like 3 times. And every other time she would give birth, I would make an effort to go to her house with shopping. Just to see the baby and all that. And when I reached there, remember I've carried milk. I've done shopping for about 4,000 shillings. I'm excited for her. Do you know when I sit down what I'm going to be given? Black tea or coffee with Marie biscuits. She did that the first time. I was like, oh my God, why would someone do that? I was like, oh, maybe I'm being gluttonous from the Lunjemi. I left, I went back to the office. She gave birth baby number 2. And when she comes to my place, I will cook. Yes, I will cook. I'll cook rice and what? And she will not come with anything. So I came to the understanding. And baby number 2, she did the same. I went to visit with shopping, nothing came through. From that time, I learned my lesson. I was like, you know what, chick? Last year she gave birth. Maybe she's hearing me. I didn't go and visit. I think that's why she's wondering.
Maybe the
No,
next
I
but
was
also-
like, no, because as Emmanuel says, I have been visiting and she does not reciprocate back.
No.
So it's just their character, and some people are just brought up like that.
No, but
I think reciprocity has its place. But also, I am very careful not to give out of expecting. So
That
I
is,
give-
yes, that's what I'm
I
saying.
give an in-
Emmanuel should just get used to
Yes,
it.
so-
Not everyone will abide or do what you want.
I have relations who can make you very hot tea at 1 o'clock as well. Huh? I think it just depends with black tea kwanza. They can make you very hot black tea. But Emmanuel, the other thing I want to talk about very quickly before you go on a break. The etiquette of visits dictate that even the duration of time you're visiting is
Yeah.
very properly adhered to.
Yes.
When you come to my house, say at 2 o'clock, for the love of God and for Pete's sake, leave maybe by 4 5. I want to sleep topless in my couch.
4 5. What are you, a chicken? You sleep that early?
No, like enjoy my space. Now, when you come at 2 and then now we're at 9:45 p.m. and you're not showing any signs of leaving.
And
You
if
are
you
suff-
have friends?
No, you're suffocating my space. This is my house. This is not a public pub.
No.
No,
Okay,
true.
I get what you're saying.
No. You need to think about the time you are leaving. Yeah? So you can't sit there until 11:45. And then I'm just like, so were you thinking of going back to Kitengela? Or what was your
I remember there was a time.
That is strange. Go, Mazi.
But I overstay in people's houses. Now I'm questioning myself.
Yes, you have to really question.
I don't do
yourself.
it till 11.
There's a friend of mine who used to bring his family over to my place, and he'd leave them there and go. So at
Why?
around 10, at around 9:45, me and my chick, we are sleepy. We want to sleep. Him is left his wife over there. So I have to call,
Call
him.
him.
Like, "Where, bana? Come and pick your
That
people,
is
bana. Me, I
terrible.
want to sleep."
You are nice. Me, I cannot let him leave that wife there. Take, hey! You're forgetting your wife and your children. Especially this firstborn who loves milk. Take your firstborn who loves milk.
Eric, that beautiful song was sung by Whitney Houston and Tandy Pendergrass in 1984.
It's a very beautiful song.
The album was called Love Language. You know, like the book, Love Languages. Remember the book you like referring to?
Yeah.
Eric?
Yes.
Eric was jamming to that song. You're hanging out with the adults in the room. This is 94.4 Spice FM, the home of authentic conversation and soul music. My name is Emmanuel Kisiangani. The time now is 7:36 in the PM. And if you're 94.4 in Nairobi, stick to that frequency because we're going to be on that frequency all the way to 10 o'clock.
That is absolutely right. A very warm welcome from me. My name is Eric Omondi. It's always delightful to have you on board. Remember, if you're listening from Mombasa, Mtopanga, Nyali, Chuda, Jomvu, Kisauni, we are live and direct on 87.9. A very quick reminder that Spice FM is the first radio coming alive in visual format. What that means is, if you went on your phone or PC on www.spicefm.co.ke, you'll get to not only hear us, but watch us.
You're Eric Omondi and I am Barbara Mbaka. Welcome back to the show. If you're in Kisumu, Kisii, Kakamega, Kitale, the frequency is 102.5. If you're in Nakuru, the frequency is 96.0. If you're in Eldoret, Nandi County, Kericho, Bomet, that is 96.7. And we welcome you to plug into our social media handle, that is Spice FM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And as Eric said, you can stream in live, on www.spicefm.co.ke. And at the top of the hour, we would like you to call in. Let us know what you think about our hot topics. Our number to call is 0719-012-600. That is 0719-012-600.
Barbara,
Emmanuel,
you got
before
that.
I lose my chain of thought.
Yes, darling.
Just before we went on a break, I was saying guests who come and overstay. I think this should include chicks chicks who can come for a sleepover and extend at your house from Friday to whenever else.
But
While
you don't
you'd
invi-
agree that she leaves on Sunday.
But you
can
invited
just
her.
stay- no, but it's Sunday.
Oh.
So now I'm supposed
No,
to
it's
now
not
do my
even
life.
Sunday. It's Wednesday.
Yes. And then they always have these stories for. But then, imagine I was just called. I got a call from my brother. My mom has gone to Shags, and she normally takes like 3 or 4 weeks. I just want to do Netflix and chill here, and they're just like, hey, okay. Personally,
But are you sure you people pick mature women to date?
I was going to Mogadishu. In fact, I was to go on Friday that you came here, but now I am actually going to Hispania, and I'll be gone the length of time for your mom.
Eric looks like he'll chase you away.
Like Eric is always going for a meeting.
No, I know men who... I have a friend
I'm
of...
going for a meeting. I know it's 3:30 a.m. but I have a meeting, and we are going together.
I know a friend of mine who once told us that he chased a lady out of the house. They were together from Friday. Then on Sunday morning, the lady didn't leave the whole day. So he was like, when is this lady leaving? So Monday morning, he woke up, wore a suit, and he's not going to work.
Yeah, he just drove around the hood.
Drove around, dropped her at the stage, then came back home and removed his suit and went back to bed. And was like, at 5 a.m., he was like, chick, I had to do that.
The chick listening, a little pride goes a long way. Like once, I think when it's the guy or your spouse, not spouse, they're not married.
Yes.
The guy you're dating desires you. I think it's nicer. You know these things for, okay, babe, I can come anytime, even now. Okay, let me come. It's strange.
Chill it
A
out.
little pride goes a long way.
That's true.
Jiringe kidogo. Jiringe tu. Sema waki, babe, you've told me 11th hour. Imagine I had plans. Let's plan for Wednesday maybe or Friday. That guy is going to
String
want
him
you
along.
more. Yes, man. Yo.
And how are you?
Yo. I'm fine.
No, I'd like to know what's on Eric's mind today.
All right. A lot has been on my mind. I think about 2 weeks ago, I happened upon a report I was reading from, I think it was The Economist. And it was quite grim. The report alluded that 80% of black women, these are African American women in the United States, 80% are the sole breadwinners in the US. Can you imagine?
Wow.
80%. So I became very curious.
And the men are where?
I don't know. Most of them incarcerated in prison. Some are just buying clothes and colognes. You know, they really love dressing up, those brothers. Eh?
Your
Check,
brother.
have you seen my kicks, man? Have you seen my fubu? Have you seen my top, brother?
I remember
And getting haircuts.
I remember Baby Boy. You remember Baby Boy? The movie?
Yeah, the movie?
The chick was the one who had a job, and the guy would just drive.
I think
his
their culture
car around
dictates
all day.
that. They're so used to that. And like here,
I remember
we want men to do much more.
When the last time I was staying in the States, I was 28. And I used to be very worried about my life, my future, you know, turning 30 without a direction. And I'd hang out with a bunch of them, say, while playing ball. And most of them are 46 or 48. So it's like, why are you worried, brother? You young, man. I live at home with grey beards. I live at home, brother. You know, I have
What?
baby mama.
Did you just say the guy 46 living at home?
Yes. Most of them just chill at home with their parents, and then they have many baby mamas. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, they like that
that's
thing.
my share, man.
That's
your
Chantel.
11th birthday. Get out.
I'll slap the taste out of their mouth.
So it really shocked me. I don't know what the men are doing, but 80% I thought it piqued my interest.
Yes, that's a bit too much
So I
high.
quickly went to the Kenyan stats. They're not. I don't think a lot of good work has been done, but I happened upon an article, and the Central Bank of Kenya revealed that 82% of the savings in the whole country of Kenya belong to women.
How much
Oh.
82% of the savings.
Meaning we're hardworking women in this town.
Then I also, in the same, in a tentative report I read, women run 42% of small and medium enterprises. And another one that also piqued my eye in another research I was doing is that more young women are buying properties than men. Up to 62% of Kenyan women are buying properties than their male counterparts. So it begged the question, and I was going to ask you guys, why do you think the disparity? And I know we've sort of muddied around this, but what do you think the disparities are that would lead to a lot of women doing much better economically? Actually, before I forget, the report said here, I'll tell you, that Kenyan women are said to be now more economically empowered than their male counterparts by 74%. Can you imagine that?
I'm so
what do you
shocked about the
think is
stats. I
contributing
knew
to
it
that?
was high, but I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah.
Because on my opinion, I think we've also talked about this before. The girl child, about 10 years ago, we were really empowered
Yeah.
and we wanted to step up. So many women have done that. And also within our own circles, I think I've told you, Manu, before. We have these things called chamas, investment groups. We do it together. So for me, I feel we've been actually empowering each other, not only in schools, at home, through our peers. That is what has made us. And we're always challenging each other every other day. Maybe that is why the numbers are that high. But I'm also worried, what is happening to the boy child?
No,
And
sometimes
are with the same women who are raising these boys? Aren't we trying to push them, empower them, uplift them? What is happening? Or were you left behind? Okay. Or were the boys left behind when this was happening?
okay, I think sometimes many women are more practical than men. Like you can find a lady who's just gotten a job, who after she gets a job, she'll go and buy a very tiny car, which is very low, cc.
Yes.
Like 1,500, 1,300 cc.
Yes.
But the same job, the guy who gets a job, he dashes and buys a top
machine.
of the range machine, 2,500 cc, and you're at the same level. So at the end of the day, this lady obviously will save more money than you. And remember, this lady, this guy with the big machine, one of his goals, because he's young, is maybe to dash to take the lady who drives this little car, drive her in his big top of the range car to the best top of the range restaurant. You see, so it's a slippery spiral where this guy is always losing money, and on the other end of the spectrum, this lady is always using her money wisely, or not even spending it much, because there's someone willing to spend.
As much as it's true, it's very painful to agree, but it is true.
That is a very good point, Emmanuel.
Yes.
My sister for about a year worked in the bank.
Yes.
And she used to tell me, it was a microfinance bank. She used to tell me that most of our colleagues would often go to a lot of loan sharks and also meet the bank branch manager to get very hefty loans. And she was telling me that a lot of young guys in our department were getting loans to get, say, Range Rovers or Mercedes Benz.
Are you serious?
Eric, I'll need you to hold that thought, because when we come back from the very short break that we are going for right now, you're going to finish that particular statistic. You're hanging out with 94.4 Spice FM. We are the adults in the room. Don't touch that dial. Right, you're hanging out with 94.4 Spice FM. We are the adults in the room. And remember, at 9 o'clock, we're going to be taking your phone calls. And the number is 0719 012 600. Once again, I'm going to repeat that number, 0719 012 600. Get your phone ready, get your airtime ready, so that when you call, we don't interrupt. And many people call in. So please prepare now.
All right, that's absolutely right. A very warm welcome to you. This is 94.4 Spice FM, but worry not if you're planning to catch a flight to Mzanzi, the areas of Limpopo, or all the way down in Camps Bay in Cape Town. What you simply need to do when you get to Bryanston, if you're going to Bryanston, where I used to live and I love, simply go on your phone or your gadget on www.spicefm.co.ke. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I'm Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolo Money. If you're in Kisumu, our frequency is 102.5, and the same frequency goes to Kisii, Kakamega, Kitale, and the bigger western region. If you're in Nakuru, that is 96.0. If you're in Eldoret, Bomet, Kericho, and the Nandi County, the frequency is 96.7. And we welcome you to plug in, to our social media, that is Spice FM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Let us know what you think about the conversation, and I shall be sampling some of your views.
Yeah, and just before we went to the break, Barbara
Yes, dear.
brought up a very interesting point about... No, it was Eric.
It was Eric.
Why am I giving Barbara your point?
You've missed me,
That
darling.
is
I'm
terrible.
here.
I'm sorry. Eric was had brought up a very interesting
Yes.
facts about female...
And he was giving us a story about the sister.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you done? Sorry.
No, I'm not done.
I was agreeing, thinking.
I like the
so
sweater.
Eric had brought up a point about how ladies have more savings, according to the statistics you
Yeah.
read, and they seem to be more financially empowered than Kenyan men.
Absolutely. And I was agreeing also with your very wonderful point about the practicality of women in comparison to men.
Yeah.
My sister would tell me a story just before we went on the break that a lot of our colleagues with whom she was in the same tax bracket,
Yes.
earning the same salary, had access to the same loans, would go and seek money from Shylocks so that they would buy very elaborate German machines that they could not afford
To maintain.
So there is that speaks to that. The other flip side I read in the report, it says that a lot of these men have taken up drinking and substance abuse. And most of them, upon being grilled, would say that they've never had a role model to emulate. All right?
Yes.
The report also says that most of them came from homes where the father figure was absent, so that there was not proper discipline. And I know before we went on this conversation, Barbara was for the contrary view. So yeah, so the challenge then comes that women pull together. They encourage each other,
Yes.
but you don't see a lot of that in men.
And I think men need better support system. But what Eric is saying, the statistics are shocking. I knew that women are doing better, but I didn't know the numbers were quite high. But what I find a bit debatable is the fact that the reason men are going, or majority of them are spending their money unwisely or making wrong decisions or indulge in alcohol and drug abuse is because they come from single homes. I think it's a balance. Yes, I stand corrected, but I think it's a balance because I know people who are grown-ups who come from both families that have mother and father,
where dad
but
and mom
are present and they've been active in their lives. But along the way, they just slip up. And I also know it's true the fact that you're saying that those ones who come from single homes do that. But what I know for a fact, and I'll speak that from experience, is when you're a single parent, you try as much as possible to put your foot down, to make sure your child is very disciplined, to do the best, because society judges you, and society judges you so harshly. So you always want the best for your child. You want your child to be disciplined. You can even go an extra mile. I'm not talking from myself, but from also women who are single. But I don't disapprove the fact that what you're saying, it happens. That there are people, because of not having a father figure, they have strayed away into meaningless things of society.
There's an article I came across by some Minnesota Psychological Association.
Yes.
And they're talking about criminal justice involvement and the adverse outcome of the criminal justice system on the society.
Yes.
Right? So in one of the paragraphs, they say that the absence of a father in a child's life may also increase the odds of his or her associating with delinquent peers, because they found out that many of the men who are incarcerated are from female inmates, or they are from female. Let me just read it. In a study of female inmates, more than half of them came from a father absent home. So this have affected them across the board. It affected the females, and it also affected the men. So meaning the absence of one of the parents would surely affect the growth of the child.
Are you saying Erica is a very good gentleman? Are you trying to say he's a delinquent?
No.
But I understand what you're saying. I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. The thing about it is this: I saw my mother being at pains with raising, especially me. Not so much about my sisters. Because boys, unlike girls, boys need men to validate them. I had very big questions about my inability to understand or even imagine that my mother understands me.
Yes.
I was very quizzical. I never voiced them because of African homes being...
You're like the mother is...
But she was at pains, I can attest to it, sometimes physical to point of crying, because she just couldn't get this boy. Like, what is the deal with this boy?
Yes.
And if I'm being honest, more than 4 or 5 times I went away from home. In fact, I was brought up in part by my aunt, because my mother and I just had a loggerhead. We never got along. I was just like, this person does not get me.
Yes.
And she was just like, this boy is demon possessed. So what happens is, boys need men to validate them.
Okay.
When a mother is alone, which is not her fault, a lot of these men leave voluntarily. It's not the fault of the parent who stayed, but more the fault of the parent who left. But it's very difficult because women's composition are to nurture. That's why they have hips and breasts to nurture.
Yes.
But not so much the man's role to beat or correct or instill discipline, whichever way how. And I like to give the example, if you went to Nahom and the child was acting up, being all hysterical, if the mother says, nyamaza, ntambia baba, but if the dad is there, just one stare, just looking at the boy or the girl, they
Or
keep
he
quiet.
just says Nyamaza.
Or
Why
just
am
say,
we nyamazing in Tambia, Baba?
"Cheke
I will
nyamaza."
discipline you.
Yes. So,
But I get what you're
even-
saying, yeah.
And my mother, in the hierarchy of very serious disciplinarian, my mother was known in the entire, if not town, estate. But still, being a boy, we had
You actually
I'm
just-
lucky. I'm
yes.
lucky I never ended up being incarcerated.
Yes.
But we had serious run-ins with my mom.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it is possible, and I think the lady who's listening can call us and give us some of their feedback at the top of the hour about how challenges they face between raising a daughter
and a boy.
vis-a-vis a boy.
Yeah,
But
and-
that's what was on my mind.
That was very
Alright,
deep, my
that
dear.
is, very deep and very nice. How about you, Barbara? What's on your mind?
Wow, what was on my mind actually? It's just almost close to what Eric was talking about. I was wondering, do men have things like support systems, support groups, chama, investment clubs? Because I noticed most of the time when I talk to like gentlemen, I was talking to Eric over the weekend. So when he asked me where I was, like in a chama, and he was like, "You're not going for those things," and I was like, "There are things that encourage me, uplift me, give me, show me how to save," and maybe that is why the statistics are saying that 82% of women are actually good savers and they are doing more business, because that's what we do. We always tell each other, you need to have something for yourself. You need to appraise yourself. You need to build your home, improve your home. So that's why most of us, maybe we didn't have that growing up. We have decided to instill in ourselves, in our behavior, and our culture of money and saving is different. But my question is to you, gentlemen, do you have these things? Do you do chamas? Do you do investment clubs, groups, things like that?
Personally, I'm not very.
You just
I'm not a
invest with
fan-
your wife
I'm
only.
not a fan of groups. I do very poorly in groups.
Okay.
So I prefer, especially groups where we're doing what with money. I'm not very big with those group things.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm very antisocial in that regard.
Uh-huh.
So there's ones I tried, but it just
They're
fizzled
not
out.
bad. They're like you can be 5 or 6.
I
Like
think
the
I've-
ones
I
I
think-
mean, we have 5. We have one
I've
for
not-
5, and then I have a big one for 12. That runs to the January. I always receive in January, and then someone else till the end of the year, and then we have for 6 that we rotate, and we save money.
I think it just boils down to the composition of men. Men are very purpose oriented, while women are really process oriented.
yeah.
So you know these tunaenda kwa Agnes aki anapikaga mandazi tamu. Men are not really big on those sort of things. So the goal is just, what are we gonna do? We need money. How much? 5,000 bob. I can send. I can't send. It's
Yes.
quishes there.
Yeah.
So I think what helps women also is their ability to just go around about something, and then the process to get there. You know the way you can tell a chick typically what's wrong with you. And it's like, then she explains in a roundabout manner, but you don't solve the problem. So men really want the end product, which is solving the problem,
Yes.
and not so much the process to getting there. So I
Yes.
think that's why a lot of us also have that problem.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
helps my understanding on it. By the way, the hot topic for today, Barbara and
Yeah.
Eric, is understanding sexual consent.
Wow.
Which would make for a very interesting conversation from 8 o'clock from 8 o'clock all the way to 9. So I think we're gonna share our personal views. Eric, why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm
Isn't-
listening.
Oh, you're listening. You're looking at me like you're shocked.
No, I'm listening.
He's trying to figure out.
I'm
understand.
trying to digest sexual consent. I think I am going to be learning quite a bit today.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too. I'm looking forward. Barbara, how many chamas are you in?
3. 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm in 3 chamas.
Let me ask you a
Yes.
question. Why don't you just, because you see, the concept of a chama is maybe this week I'm gonna send 10 Gs, and then next week maybe if you're 3
I know
in
you're
the
going to tell
chama-
me about to save it.
Yeah, if you're 3 people in the chama, so 10K. Why don't you just save that 10K yourself?
What makes you think I don't do that?
Oh, yeah.
No,
so
yes,
why-
you can do that. The idea is, it's just community. What do you call it? Community accountability. And we have, it's like, as Eric said, we have a goal towards something. And sometimes achieving that goal as a person, it's very difficult. Like I'm in one chama where we do table banking and we loan people money. So whatever we put in is our saving, and then we loan other small business women money. We didn't start very big. We just started very small, and it just grew over time. So right now we loan people 60,000, 40,000, things like that. And then another one. It's more like taking care of each other. You never know what anyone is going through. So it's just making sure, like a merry-go-round. And it is of a Nyumba Kumi initiative. This is where I come from, where I reside. So it's just the ladies from there and their homes. We do something, and every month someone gets something. So that is just the basic chama. But the others are more for investment. We are into farming. We're into property. There's one we bought land in Koru. And we're quite many. There's one it was actually for couples, but still people still stuck together, and we remove money every month. We want to buy a flat as a group. So you see, if you're alone, you'll not be able to buy that flat. But if you're many, you're able to pull up your weight.
I tell you what, when I moved to where I'm living right now, one of the ladies there approached me and said to join the neighborhood chama because if somebody dies in my place, they'll be able to give me 50 Gs. To top up for the funeral cost, blah blah blah. And I looked at her with very spiteful eyes and told her sawa, and she did not hear from me again. Only for a death to occur in my family.
And you had not
been.
I
was like, hey, Kumbe, I should have actually, because like, why is she wishing death?
Actually,
but it's actually really practical.
Yeah,
because you know, I would have gotten relief, you know, in our budget for handling this funeral expense.
In my side, sorry,
and also, I think that's why I think that's the biggest call for me for marriages. The differences that women are from men, and how upon putting those heads together, they equate to something phenomenal.
Yes.
Like as a guy who lives alone, sometimes like yesterday when I left the studio, I just went straight to a Chinese restaurant to look for something to eat.
You got, and you were going to make veggies.
Yes.
You changed your mind.
And I'm sure if I were married, like I see in Emmanuel's case, Emmanuel can't make such a funny decision.
Yes.
You see, I'm sure the chick would yell him into sense, like, you're going to Chinese.
Yes.
So I think the difference ought to be celebrated.
The station is 94.4 Spice FM. You're hanging out to the adults in the room. I'm going to play for you some Tony Braxton right now. Please don't touch that dial because we have an exciting hot topic coming up.
24/7 around the world.
Tony Braxton, Breathe Again, written again by Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, man. Babyface was a genius.
Yes, he was.
He used to write them songs, man. You're hanging out with the adults in the room. It is exactly 8:05, and this is 94.4 Spice FM. We are here until 9 o'clock, and then again till 10 o'clock. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to join us. You can stream us live on www.spicefm.co.ke, and you can also call in at the top of this hour, and the number is 0719012900.
Yes,
600, right?
Yes.
Am I correct? Yes.
Yes, it is.
0719012600. And I'm hanging out with my favorite people on the planet Earth.
That is absolutely right. A very warm welcome to you wherever you are and wherever you're tuned in from. I want to welcome you, especially if you're in Nyeri, Othaya, Karatina, and Mukurweini areas, live and direct on 97.9. If you're down at the coast, Mtwapa, Nyali, and Chuda, Jomvu, and Kisauni area, don't forget to dial into the station on 89.9, dial or tune in, sorry. And remember also, we are the adults in the room, and this is the Sugar and Spice and Everything Nice, 80s and your absolute favorite 80s ballads and spicy soul jams. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Money. Our hot topic for today is understanding sexual content. I'd like to invite you. Sorry, understanding sexual consent.
I think she was pronouncing it in Kilue.
You know my mother tongue. From Money. Now, ladies and gentlemen in the studio, I would like to invite you all to contribute to this conversation. Let us know what you understand by this hot topic, sexual consent. Give us your suggestions, your idea. Our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter handles are spicefm.ke. SpiceFMKE on Facebook and Twitter. And as Emmanuel has said, you can also call in at the top of the hour on 0719 012 600.
Barbara, you got it just right. And Barbara, the entrepreneur in the building, I have a mission. I have a little something for you. Kenyans, it's back. Lions Den, the country's biggest business reality television show, is here once again. Excitement, tension, and of course drama appear everywhere.
Find out which bold and determined entrepreneur from all those who applied from across the country actually made it to the den.
Season 4 of KCB Lions Den begins next week, Tuesday, September 3rd, 8 p.m. only on KTN. Be prepared to watch the Lions roar once again.
Barbara, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not allowed also, eh?
Yeah, terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, you're a member.
But Eric, give me an idea of what I can do. I'll send Auntie.
Yeah, you can say that. Eric, I also have a plan for you for this weekend, and I think you know this plan. This weekend, from the 31st of August to 1st September, Taskalaga will be taking the party to RFUEA grounds for the 2019 Christie Sevens. Come watch 40 of the best rugby clubs in the country battle it out for the Christie Sevens title. After the rugby, the action moves to the Tusker after party featuring the Sailors Gang, the Council, DJ Bash, and DJ Kalonje.
There'll be chances to win instant prizes as you enjoy the rugby and a cold Tusker lager throughout the tournament. Join the conversation online. You can hit us up on Twitter at Tusker Lager, on Instagram at Tusker Lager KE, and like our Facebook page, Tusker Lager. Also, don't forget to use the hashtag RugbyNatTusker while talking about the matches. Excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health, not for sale for persons under the age of 18. And remember, do not drink and drive.
You got it right
Do not
there.
drink, especially today is Friday. Do not drink and drive.
Yeah, because alcohol blow will get ya.
Yes, and they are around.
Eric, I'm excited about today's topic. In fact, I just can't wait to share some of the things that I have in my mind about understanding sexual consent. You know, and it. I think one of the reasons we have this discussion is the other day, as you saw in the media, as many people saw in the media, there are these two gentlemen. I don't have to mention their names who got. They were in this, kerfuffle, and they got 15 years. In jail, just because of something that happened, So I think the time has come, and there's somebody who was asking me about my soundbite about this particular topic.
Yes.
And I told him that the time has come for men, especially in my view, to understand sexual consent.
Yes.
All right, because I don't think the times as they are right now, it's not like back in the day.
Yes.
Back in the day when I was growing up, there was a saying, a slang. It was chips funga,
Yes.
We go out and then we chips
Funga.
funga. In fact, it became like a verb,
Yes.
It became like one of a normal word. Check, did you chips funga? No, I didn't chips funga. So at that time, it was a common thing. But if you think about it right now and the ramifications of
Chips funga and sunga, it
you
will land in
realize it was
trouble.
a serious risk that people were taking doing this chips funga business.
Yes.
Admittedly, as a man, I am looking forward to learn because there's a lot of conversations, especially from the female or women fraternity, and men have not been paying a lot of attention.
Yes.
Women have been talking for a prolongated period of time and saying, stop doing this is not acceptable. But men, especially, a lot of us have adhered to the yesteryear norms, whereby, you've consented it.
Yes.
We like to imagine what consent.
Yes.
We imagine it's perceived, or we want to tie how you've dressed or what you did the last time we were together to mean consent. So I'm looking forward. I think it's going to be quite an edifying discourse.
Yes, I think also consent is a word that is usually confused or stirs up a lot of confusion, controversy, misinformation, and people feel that it doesn't remove the spontaneity out of sex, but I think it should be the reason why you are actually having sex. Do not assume, as Eric has said, that because it was done last time, because I encouraged a smile, that I am willing or party to what you want to do. You might be misinformed or misunderstanding my language, my body language.
I think earlier on, Kisangani, I think when that story broke out, I decided to bother myself and attempted to read the
Really, to
sexual-
bother yourself?
Yes. It's tedious. It's a tedious document. That's why I said bother.
Yes.
I tried to read the sexual offense of Kenya document.
Yes.
So I went and really, it's about 32 pages,
Yes.
and I was reading, and they define every word.
Yeah.
So they say rape, then they define it by
Yes.
law what it means.
Yes.
Consent, they
Yes.
try and break it down. But in my learning, because I think I want to implore, especially to a man listening, that they really employ their ear, because I've been learning.
Yes.
And most of my learning has come about from listening, especially to women. So a lot of women I've had conversations with in the past, even before this story came to the fore, have been saying that men do not allow or rather they do not permit them to consent for sex.
Yes.
And I went about to look and think about what consent would mean. All right. So one of the things I found to be
Please share with us consent.
one of the things that I found to be very fascinating was simply two people, consenting adult, allowing for sexual engagement each and every time. So
Yes.
that each and every time was very fascinating to me,
Yes.
Emmanuel, because as men, admittedly, a lot of us think that because I've had sex with Barbara before, if she swings by my house,
It's automatic.
Systems go.
Yes.
And I think also what I've been learning, which is very fascinating, is that when somebody has okayed for one thing, it doesn't necessarily mean they've okayed the rest. For
That is
instance,
true.
if you're hanging out in my living room and I say, babe, can we make out? And they're like, yeah, sure. Come to the bedroom, let's make out. And then she agrees to come to the bedroom and you guys are making out, either kissing or fondling. That now doesn't mean it's an invitation for you to start having sexual intercourse.
Yes.
So I think the biggest lesson for me so far has been that you have to keep asking all
Can
the
we-
way.
yes.
Like questions like, is it okay if I removed your blouse?
Yes.
Are you okay with me? Show me where you'd want me to touch you, where
Yes.
you're most comfortable.
Yes.
Also, the other amazing thing that I've learned is that you have the power, both male and female, to say stop.
No.
Even mid-thrust, Kisiangani.
Yes.
Yeah,
What are
no,
you laughing about?
even mid-thrust, like
Yes.
if you are quarter way in and she says, no, hey, stop.
Yes.
Then you have it, you owe it to her to stop, because all of us own our bodies
Yes.
and have to say, you know what? Wachana nayo.
And
I
also,
sorry, Barbara, before you chime in, there's an article which says, I think you guys saw it, consent should be asked for and given at all stages of the process.
Yes.
Otherwise, intercourse becomes rape.
yes.
Yes.
And majority of us don't even know that. And you see, even people are raped in their own marriages.
Yeah.
And many people don't know that. There's a time about 4 months ago, I'd gone to the chief. I was having some issue.
The chief?
Yes, chief.
All right,
I needed to know where the chief is. I was
Barbara's laps are interesting.
yes, my labs are very interesting. I went to the chief, and I was going to the chief because of an issue of demarcations of land. And when I reached there, I actually ended up not even stating my case because I felt that my case didn't even have weight of what I was coming to blab and complain there. I found a lady who was married and she was really covered. You know, the chief is not like a police station. You are in a line. Everyone says their problem. So if you're talking, I could get to hear in line what the other person is saying. So this lady was saying,
Barbara,
yes.
before you finish that story, I want guys to stay tuned so that they know what happened at Barbara's
Chief
encounter
okay.
at the chief. We'll be back after this very short message.
Ice.
Spice FM, and you're hanging out with the adults in the room. The time now is 8:16 and our conversation is just beginning. Please save this number 0719012600 so that you can chime in on this very amazing conversation at the top of the hour.
That is absolutely right. A very warm welcome to you wherever you are. I want to welcome my listener from Nakuru County. If you're in Langalanga, Shabe, Section 58, a very warm welcome to you. The frequency is 96.0. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolomani. I welcome you to contribute to today's topic, that is understanding sexual consent. And our Facebook and Twitter, Instagram handles are SpiceFMKE SpiceFMKE. And if you're able to stream live, that is www.SpiceFMKE. If you're able to stream live, www.spicefm.co.ke. Let us know what you think about today's topic, understanding sexual consent from a man's point of view, from a woman's point of view.
Yeah, we're talking about sexual understanding sexual consent, and Barbara was telling us a story about how she went to the chief.
Yeah, I went to the chief and I found this lady trying to explain herself and she was a married woman, and she was trying to tell the chief that she was forced into, I don't know if I can say this on air, anal sex. So, and I was very shocked and when she was trying to explain herself to the chief, you could hear her say, I tried saying no, he refused because it's something he had a fetish, it's something new he had tried out and he wanted to try it at home. So in my head, I was wondering, wow, this is a husband and a wife. And she tried saying no and it was not allowed. And everyone was shocked. In fact, I left there saying, I don't think I had a very big problem. This woman's problem was much larger. So for me, I'm like, women, you are allowed to say no, to say stop, whether in your relationship, if you're dating, whether in your marriage. I think people need to understand, just as Erica said, it at any point of interaction, physical attraction or intimacy or whatever you're doing, whether fondling, ask the lady, are you okay? Can we go on? Can I take off your blouse? Can you do this? Don't assume certain things should be done. And I make fun about it sometimes. I'm like, if you have certain sexual expectations that cannot be done by your partner or at home, please stop. outsource. Do not put some things to your spouses or your please outsource. Go outside. Look for someone who can do that. Do not get yourself into trouble for sexual assault or rape.
Yeah, outsource as well.
Yeah, outsource. Don't do those things.
Yeah,
I tell you what, Eric. I also went through the Sexual Offences Act.
Yes.
Right? And the interesting thing is there's something I came across, and that's why I really feel like men should really tune in before they dash to the nearest joint. We might save a guy today. Huh?
Yes.
One of the things that it says in the Act, I'm reading from the one for 2006.
Yes.
It says it was updated in
2014. Yes,
So
I read the 2014. Yeah.
So I'm just reading what I have right
Yes.
now. All right. So it says one of the offenses is administering a substance with intent. All right. So it says any person who commits an offense, if he intentionally administers a substance to or causes a substance to be administered to or taken by another person with the intention of stupefying or overpowering that person, so as to enable the person to engage in sexual activity with that person. So the reason that caught my eye is many times you men and even ladies, you go, your intention when you're going on a date is to get this lady high. You get? So this lady, if I buy for her 4 back-to-backs, she's going to get drunk.
And then you whisk her off to your house.
Yeah, then you whisk her off to your house, and then you can make your way with her, maybe. All right.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that was actually an offense.
Yes, it is
in the act.
Yeah.
And this is something. So I was thinking to myself, how many people on the planet
have
in
actually
Kenya,
sexually assaulted people without knowing?
Yes. What do you think about that, Eric?
Yeah.
No, it's very fascinating. I think the idea that you get the final say-so needs to be imprinted on man's head. It's very important. I think the revelation for me has been about the conversations around sexual consent is that at any given juncture, number one, Emmanuel,
Yes.
when you are silent, you've not consented.
Yes.
When, say, in your case, she's inebriated.
Yes.
She's not consented for sex.
Yes.
That is not you can't say she was quiet but naked but drunk and then I just helped myself to her. That is not. I think when two people are sober,
Yes.
like Barbara and Emmanuel are sober and they decide that
This will
we
happen.
are going to have sex, and I think consent is about what you're comfortable with in terms of your boundaries.
Yes.
Like in your sad case about the chief, if
Yes.
somebody says, which I really, as I have to say, I don't want to sound like I'm sanctimonious. I think even in my past life, if somebody, the way men say, babe, you've kissed me, kiss me again. So that manipulation.
That's
You
manipulation.
see that manipulation so umekuja umekaa kwa kiti yangu, you're on my couch and you've given me a hickey. So let's just finish. That is manipulation, and it tantamounts to.
But is that manipulation? I mean, you're just trying
It
to
is
convince-
manipulation.
No. When she says no, the idea is this, and I think a lot of men. It's a good question you've asked. A lot of men are confused by. See, I kissed her just now. What does she mean? No.
Yes.
So they try and push it further. Now it moves from you trying to persuade her to manipulating her. Because you've just sucked my lower lip literally 12 minutes ago. Let's just finish this thing. So it tantamounts to manipulation.
Actually,
Barbara, do you really agree that? Because
I do.
Maybe because I haven't forced myself on you. I'm just telling you, yes, you've kissed my lower lip, as Erica said. So
on the same amendment.
Is that manipulation? Like
Yes, and I'm going to
try and convince you. Is that trying to manipulate?
Yes, on the same law for 2014 when it was amended for this Sexual Consent Act, there are 4 characters for consent. It has to be clear, verbal. You need to get verbal permission. Number 2, it needs to be ongoing, the way we were talking. At every stage, you need to ask. Number 3, it needs to be coherent. The person that does not need to be dragged, drunk, or asleep. Number 4, it needs to be voluntary. Those are the 4 characteristics in that article, in that law. And many of us, as Eric is saying, you might have kissed someone along the way. Maybe we went for dinner, I kissed you. It does not mean if I do not have means for transport, I am in your car, that we are going home with you and you need, or it's permission for you to think you're on the next level. I don't like this thing, and many people make fun. Sinimekununuria samosa. Sasa unataka. You get. It does not mean if you bought for someone samosa, if you bought for a beer or a drink, a whiskey, that you are warranted. It is not a ticket for you to get laid.
Emmanuel, I think the other way.
That's why I said, always remember, sorry, Eric, the 4 character. It needs to be clear, ongoing, coherent and voluntary.
Emmanuel,
Have
the
you
other,
explained the manipulation story properly?
Yes, and then the
Emmanuel, let me tell you.
manipulation. Oh, sorry,
Let
you
me
can
tell
explain
you-
it.
Let me tell you, Emmanuel. For somebody
you see
listening,
now-
somebody listening like you might be confused about manipulation.
I think maybe he
I think-
manipulated someone. He's very upset.
Oh, I'm just concerned
I
about
think
my brethren.
I think it's very important to look at the body language and
Yes.
also listen to the words. Kisiangani. If somebody had kissed you 12 minutes ago and you're pushing them so much, just check their body language.
Yes.
If they're backing out and not keen, this is not an invitation for you to pull them closer.
Yes.
And hold their necks tight and push it down to you.
But you've said a very nice thing. Check the body language.
Body language
Yes.
and the words. So if the words are confusing, maybe you have wax in your ear and
Oh.
it said stop. No, it's possible you have wax. So now if the words are confusing, maybe you had, but they are saying no.
Yes.
Look at their body language. If somebody is pulling away, you know, the other thing which is funny, Barbara, when
Yes.
you're thinking about this,
Yes.
there are no people who understand sexual consent like men, especially heterosexual men.
Yes.
But they feign it when you're with the women. You know
Yes.
why? One time in a Cape Town pub, two gay guys were really making out.
Yes.
And then a gentleman I was with, who is a serious homophobe, was passing, and this guy grabbed his chest. He almost died. You just, don't do that!
Yes.
So all of a sudden, when it was a gay man and he's not into
Oh, he didn't want to be
homosexuality,
touched.
he doesn't want to be touched. But
But
if it
if
is
it's a woman,
they feign confusion.
Yes, I
They're
think
like,
yeah.
babe,
You need to treat all
Yes.
parties equally,
Yes.
whether a woman, whether a gay
Yes.
couple, whether a straight couple.
Like if a gay guy cornered you in a corner and tried kissing your mouth, your no will be very loud. And your
But if
body
a woman
language-
tried to do that, you
Yeah.
not. It is very unfair.
But
Treat
men,
every party
but
equally.
men do the same thing to women.
Yeah.
You pin at a matatu and you're like, no, where are you going? They're like, stop doing that. It's so uncomfortable. No, I'm talking to you, baby. That
Yes.
is wrong.
Actually, people don't even understand. Sometimes sexual consent or being sexually assaulted or rape or the rape culture, it's not all about intimacy in bed. Even as you're walking, as Eric is saying, you can be pinning someone in a corner. That is, you're assaulting her. And most people don't even look at it that way. If you're or in the office, if you're harassing a woman, mistreating her, talking to her ill, demonizing her, or throwing words that just sound off.
Or even Barbara, that's so deep, Emmanuel. I think just something as simple as somebody saying they're not okay with a particular sexual act. I'll take it further.
Yes.
From my learning again.
Yes.
If I've agreed to have sex with Barbara.
Yes.
And Barbara said, okay, fine. Emmanuel, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
So Barbara says, okay, fine, we are having sex, but you're wearing protection.
Yes.
Now, mid-thrust, and I remove the condom, that is actually, you've defiled the
Sexual, yes.
consent.
Yeah, that's true.
Because now you've put her life in jeopardy. She doesn't know what you have, and she only consented
To you
using
a
protection.
condom.
Yeah, and then also the point Barbara raised earlier, maybe you got married and you've only consented to, normal,
Yes.
like, the normal stingos.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then a guy goes and comes out wearing a choker, he wants to whip you and do
And
big
wants to
things.
do those things Eric was telling us of the chandelier.
Yeah.
You're on top of a chandelier.
I think that's
Bondage.
beyond
It's called bondage.
Yeah,
Yes.
bondage.
That's sadomasochism.
That's beyond the
But
boundaries.
the one I think, if I'm being honest, I'd say I've been guilty of in my past relationship when I was dating.
Yes.
Thinking that it's okay because we are dating.
Yes.
That when baby, blue balls, baby, blue balls. So
It's
that-
actually wrong,
So
yeah.
it's very
How is
wrong.
that?
What?
That is manipulation.
No, this is what I mean, Emmanuel.
Explain to me
This
that
is what I
manipulation
mean.
point
Say-
properly.
I've also
This
learned a
is-
lot
this is
when
what
I was
I'm
going
saying,
through this.
Saying yes once doesn't always mean saying yes forever.
Thank you.
For instance, I'm dating you. You are my girlfriend. I know your mother. Your mother knows my mother. Who knows my auntie? Who knows my auntie who
Yes.
is squinted eye? Who knows your
Okay,
village?
fine. We know your relatives.
No, as in we know each other that deep. Now, and we've been having mad raw sex. We are kinky. We do, hey ya, hoo-ha.
What is that? Is that a sport?
No, I'm just saying. Now, that is not a ticket to mean that this one time you've said, Eric, I'm not keen on having sex, that I should start using that to proceed and have sex anyway.
Yes.
No, yeah, that I agree.
See, that's
That I
exactly what
agree.
I'm saying.
Yes.
So
But-
sexual consent is this.
Or trying to.
I want to understand, and I'm doing this for the sake of maybe someone out there who's like me,
Yes.
who does not understand.
Yes.
You're saying manipulation, trying to convince you and
Yes.
telling you, hey, I have blue balls. Is manipulation.
You won't die from
This
it.
is
because I'm trying to sell, because you've said we were in a previous relationship, right?
And we
so
are
I'm trying to
still
sell my position right now. I'm trying to convince you that, hey, Maze, you don't leave me like this.
Okay, let
So
me
how
give you-
would
le-
that
and I
be-
tried to
How would
further-
that be manipulation?
I
Because I have not even touched you. I'm not forcing myself on you. I'm just telling you from a safe distance.
Let me tell you, I've answered. Let me repeat. 1 second,
Okay,
Barbara.
no problem.
I said number 1, Emmanuel, words. Number 2, look at the
Body language.
Number 3, in finality, tie to the analogy of a nice, strong gay guy trying to kiss you. And then you've said the first time, I'm sorry, I don't participate in homosexuality. Please don't
No,
kiss me.
I've not tried to kiss you. I'm just at a safe distance trying to
Let me
to tell
explain
you.
on that.
But she said to you through her body language and words.
Oh,
like
body
there's no
language and words.
yes, there's no other way
Yes.
she can say. She
For
can't now
me-
start back flipping for you to understand. So
The
she
idea
said
of you,
no,
don't
and she
push
pulled
it.
away.
I think what happens is men try to manipulate you. You'll talk about your blue balls, how you're feeling.
That's
your
manipulation.
Body. Yes, that is manipulation.
That's your
Do
problem
not
with your
manipulate.
balls.
Yes,
Your
do
balls
not
being
manipulate a woman into being with you, whether physically or sexually. Do not do that because that is sexual assault.
Like you see,
Read
you've even
further
said-
on that
like
that
you
law.
see, you've even touched my thigh, and you know my touch is Agnes.
Agnes.
Agnes, you've touched my thigh.
touched your thigh
Agnes,
and-
no, see, those are excuses.
Those are the excuses men
yes,
say.
that's
As you're
what I'm
touching
saying.
my hand,
She has touched you.
you've
She's
arisen
even-
or awakened the
Emmanuel,
lion.
This is it
She's
goes
touched your
really.
thigh.
She's touched your thigh and even maybe blown you off.
Yes.
She says no. Yes, you leave her.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that I agree.
Yes.
That I agree.
There's
Yeah.
nowhere where you shouldn't agree.
Yeah, you
even
need-
I told you even mid thrust.
It
when
is
she said,
ongoing,
Stop,
you
stop,
ask.
stop. You don't need now a long list of explanation as to why.
Yes.
You just go shower and sleep.
Yes.
All right, guys. If you're planning to do something tonight, please don't go fast. Let us finish this conversation after this short message from. This is 94.4 Spice FM. You're hanging out to the adults in the room. My name is Emmanuel Kisingani. Please chime into the conversation we are having today. Our hot topic is understanding sexual consent, and I'd like you guys to tune in. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because the information I'm receiving here is mind blowing, literally, man. And the number is 0719012600, and we're gonna be taking your phone calls at the top of the hour.
That is absolutely right. We are seeking to understand or better understand sexual consent, and we cannot wait to hear from you. Call us and share your thoughts on the topic, and also let us know from where you're listening. The number to call is 0719-012-600, and if you're listening from Malindi, a county I love, your frequency to call, or rather to tune into, is 97.6 or 97.7. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolomani. If you're in the western region, that is Kisumu, Dala, Kisii, and Kakamega County and its environs, the frequency is 102.5. And if you're in Kitengela, Ruaka, Kiambu Road, the frequency is still the same as Nairobi, 94.4. You can also plug in into our social media handles, that is Spice FM KE on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Our topic for today is understanding sexual consent. Would like you to contribute, and we shall be sampling some of your views on our social media handles.
Eric, you're telling me a very interesting story about manipulation, which I
Yes.
think many people are in the dark about. Because I thought I'm just trying to convince this individual from a safe distance.
I think
Okay.
the thing for me is, just before Barbara speaks, the idea that both of you must agree to sex every single time for it to be consensual must be imprinted in men, especially men's heads. Both of you must agree on sex every single time for it to be consensual. So this is what that means. If we had sex on Tuesday, you came over to my house, we've kissed a bit, and then you say, you know what? I don't feel like having sex. That puts a stop to any furtherance
Yes.
of any sexual activities.
Yes.
Yes.
There's something on that same article that I was reading. Let me just read for you. When it comes to sex, you should only do stuff you want to do, not things that you feel or are manipulated or expected or forced to do. It is in that same law. That's why Eric was talking about manipulation. You might be telling the girl, "Oh, this has happened to me. You kissed me. You've blown me. Now I'm in a different state. I have blue balls." Honestly, fine, you have. Go and shower, but it can land you into trouble if you go ahead and enjoy this moment. Then later on, this lady goes home, or this man, and then figures out, "Oh my God, this happened to me," and can actually sue you, and you can get into trouble.
Interesting video about understanding sexual consent. What do you guys think?
I cannot agree more.
Yes.
Without consent, anything sexual is bordering 15 years in the coolers. Huh? You want to. I think it's very easy. When I've read more elaborately about this, and I think about it, it's very, very easy. If somebody comes to your house, they're in your house, you had a prior long chat about how you guys are going to boogie. She comes in, she says, you know what, I've had very nice, delicious chicken and you're an excellent cook. And, you're also a fantastic kisser. But now I've changed my mind. Can you drop me home? The options you have is like, you know what, I can't drop you home, but you can raise an Uber, all right?
Or those taxi apps.
Or those taxi apps. Or you can call somebody to come pick you up. But what I'm not going to do is force myself on you because we've had my chicken and sat on my couch. Because that tantamounts to rape.
Yes.
I think it's pretty... And also, I think the biggest lesson for me has been asking as you go along. Yes, Barbara has agreed to kiss me. Fantastic. Yes, she's agreed for me to hold her waist. Amazing. Yes, she's agreed for me to unstrap her bra. Even better. But if she says, no, not my pants. It stops
the word
there.
no is dangerous.
Yes, no
she
stops.
Says, you stop there. You ask her,
yeah.
where are you more comfortable me touching? If she says, my abdomen is fine, but not beneath my navel, then you can do with that.
I also want to just say something. I know we're talking so much, it's about women, but also I think the consent is also for men. We are forgetting that
In fact, we are abused. Hey, we are abused.
I think we are also forgive. Yes, we are.
Sometimes you say no, and then
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I laughed. I should not have laughed at that.
We are really abused.
Yes, I also think men also require or need to get consent, or women need to get consent from men. And as much as we talk about women, or maybe women are more highlighted, I feel also men's issues are not brought forth
to the fore.
Yeah. So we need also to accept. And yes, it's good that you've said maybe also men at
like
home.
me, Barbara, I'll tell you live. I've been spanked a lot by many women. My butt cheeks have suffered being spanked. Office buildings, spanked. Sema wewe, Eriko, farmness nayo. Check your farm.
Yes, and you see that is sexual assault.
As a whole,
even me, I'll be very honest. I think I've sexually assaulted someone, and I didn't realize it until when we were reading the article, and I was like, "Oh my God, I've done that."
Yes,
which is very wrong, and we take it very lightly because we don't realize the same thing you're saying. The comments we make at passing to men.
Also,
we
ladies
think
who call,
it is very wrong. So I am guilty, and I'm going to change.
Also, ladies who hug big guys like us and start saying teddy bear for so long. And
but it's key. Oh, sorry.
You see now?
With their hands on your chest.
Yeah.
I was just coughing.
Eric called. Oh, no, wait. Wait. Teddy bear.
It's just the hand.
Actually sexually harassing me right now.
Yes.
So women should also stop.
Yes, women should stop.
Or even touching you when you're driving. Touching your genitalia. That's sexual harassment.
What? Yes.
Don't. You see, that's sexual harassment. Checking your pipe. That is bad. Like, I need to concentrate.
If the man says stop, you stop.
Yes.
There's a lady called Joyce Short. She's an American lady. Yes. So I came across one of her TED Talks. She was talking about understanding sexual consent.
Yes.
So one of the things she was saying that the law even needs to be expanded further, which is another problem that men are going to face in future. So she was saying
this law is going to be really expanded.
Her argument was that Eric, are you listening to me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Her argument was that she met this guy who was they fell head over heels in love. They had a relationship for 1.5 years, and then this guy had said that he was in the he fought in the Vietnam War, and he was out of the country for a long time, so it reached a point in the relationship where they said this discussing marriage, only for this guy now suddenly to say that he's actually married. And he has a family, and then he was not even in the Vietnam War. He was just out of the country fleeing the draft, the draft to go and fight. So so this lady was distraught because she was feeling like this guy has conned her. He's because obviously they'd had sex.
Yes.
All right. So she was saying the law has to be expanded because you see, like, robbery with violence is when I come and steal your property
and
attack you. But also there's theft.
Yes.
All right. Theft is now when I come and when you're not at home, you're in the studio, I go to your house and steal your TV. I con you out of your TV. I steal it when you're not there.
So she's proposing
theft. This other act of conning, misrepresenting yourself.
Sending your
and saying you used to be in Vietnam, Nini, I was a soldier. She even said that guy even lied about his age.
many men will suffer.
He
because
said,
people lie.
he said he was really 40 something. Kume, he was like 32 or 33.
Yes, especially
So
that.
she was saying that even being even misrepresenting your person
Yes.
is actually sexual. You've taken advantage of me sexually by misrepresenting who you are.
I actually agree with that law.
Like you, I think you'd be in jail now. Huh?
No, and actually, you know why I agree with that law? A couple of months ago, I think we discussed about it, about 4 months ago, when a lady was caught pants down that apparently she was defiling an 18-year-old boy, and she did not know because the guy was a border rider and had been her rider, he'll call, and he was very big. He was bigger than Eric, that young boy, only to be found out that he was 18. And he had really committed this woman, and they were going to all lengths. And later on, this woman was arrested and jailed because the guy lied to him. Or not the guy, the boy. Had lied about his age, and now this woman thought she was in a relationship with an older man, yet this was a young boy. So I think that law needs to be expounded, because honestly, this boy lied. And in many cases like this, there's so many women who are in jail right now. In fact, there was a feature about that on KTN for such crimes.
Of stealing.
But
now every man would go to jail. That's why I'm thinking, Eric's, when I was reading some of these things earlier, I felt like being a celibate, just living alone.
But
as
being
men
celibate,
on an
I'm joining
island
Team
seems
Eric.
to
I
be
think
a
now
very good
from
idea.
dry spell, it's celibate.
Yeah, I think my life, as I was sharing a few days ago, is very peaceful because I'm learning about a lot of these things. You guys need to choose celibacy, especially Barbara.
Oh my God.
But
I joined your team.
Yeah, karibu sana. By the way, a gentleman listening really seriously needs to consider celibacy, because now, if you touch somebody's finger, it can land you in a very bad place.
Yeah.
But about that lady, if you misrepresent your person in the quest to enjoy some,
They stole her cookie.
It's anyway. I don't know how that maybe.
But it's an interesting conversation.
It's a very interesting conversation to have. However, coming back to consent, when someone says no,
it is no.
Respect their no and leave them alone. Don't start breathing very near to their nose and saying they've put you in a state.
Does the sexual consent act does it also cover people in jail? Because now if you're arrested for
I'm tired.
Well, somebody is having himself with you as you're picking your soap.
Now to 94.4 Spice FM. We are the adults in the room, where we have very amazing, authentic conversations, and you're tuned into the home of soul music. The number to call is 0719-012-600. We're going to be taking a phone call between now and the top of the hour.
Absolutely right. A very warm welcome to you if you're just joining us. My name is Eric Omondi, and as Emmanuel said, we are the adults in the room, where we have no holds barred conversations around relationships, sex, lifestyle, and money between men and the women who love them. If you're listening all the way down in Eldoret, then frequency is 96.7. Remember to call us on 0719-012-600. Call and share your thoughts on the topic. And good evening.
I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolomani. Something we forgot to mention, our hashtag is Adults in the Room. I'd like to sample some of your views and your thoughts or suggestion about the topic, and our social media platform is Spice FM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Allow me to sample something from a lady called Spinka Nyakidieka. She says consenting and asking for consent are all about setting your personal boundaries and respecting those of yours and your partner, and checking if things aren't clear. People must agree to sex every single time for it to be consensual.
But I feel like, Eric, it's quite grim for men right now, especially because things seem to have really changed, especially now in this social media era, where if I do something now, the world will know about it by tomorrow.
You're right, there's some of that, but also we need to talk about self-control, which a lot of men purport to not have. And it's actually, I refuse to believe that once your all systems go, you have to ejaculate. Nobody ever died from not having an ejaculation.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think sometimes you want to weigh the pros and the cons. So if you proceed with your forceful sexual stories, you are going to end up for a long period of time. I was reading again the Sexual Act Kenya, It says the minimum is 10 years.
Yeah.
Minimum is, can you imagine 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10 years
10
in the
years,
cooler?
of course, a long time.
Because you busted a nut.
Yes.
It's not worth it. So you want to, if she says no, you'll calm down and maybe you go, as Barbara was saying, you shower or you eat a lemon and then.
Yeah.
I think you have to do a thorough cost-benefit analysis.
Absolutely.
And decide not to.
Yeah, you
bust that.
10 years vis-a-vis 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's pick a phone call. Spice FM, hello. 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 This is Spice FM. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
Fine,
very
thank
good, sir.
you.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Samuel. I'm calling you from Kisumu.
Hi, Samuel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What are your thoughts on the
Now-
topic of today?
Now, it's like you people, you're telling us we stop having sex completely. I think that's essentially
No,
what,
if-
what we were saying.
That's how
I
it
mean,
sounds,
that-
man.
Because, no, let's be honest here. If at every stage we have to ask a question, it's like a police checkpoint. Are you okay here? Can we move forward? Like every stage. Then again, because I believe this thing is a build-up. It's a chemistry that is built up. Sex is not something that you can plan. You have a procedure. Stage 1, we have hugged. Stage 2, now you keep on marking.
I agree with you, Samuel. However, the law says in the event you don't ask, and this lady comes back a few days later, she can actually get into trouble.
Yeah, I really agree with you. The only thing that we must agree is we check on the body language.
Yes.
If everything else, if we are in the same level, like, once we understand our level,
Yes.
then I believe for men, I've never had a man complaining that they've been sexually harassed.
They're there.
Samuel,
But
somebody
for
once
ladies-
touched me funny, Samuel. Truly.
Yeah, you end up laughing about it.
I'm
and
sorry, I'm
enjoying it.
laughing. It's because of his facial expression.
So what do you think?
As
What do you
we
think?
have said,
Just go ahead.
come on. No, you're asking something.
No, I was asking, what do you think the way forward is? What's the way forward? How do we deal with this?
Celibate, brother. Celibate, 100%.
I agree with you.
Also, Samuel, the other thing I just wanted to say, I am glad you've agreed about the body language. Also, just adhering
Verbal.
to what somebody says in terms of words. You might be really overwhelmed and you're on gear 6 and it's going really well.
And
but
you
then
assume-
maybe she feels some pain and then she says, please stop. So you see, you want to get off, her she wants to stop. So you see, it's important
get
that you
out.
she wants to get out. You see, it's very important to listen to her when she says that.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's in
men,
pain, but a lot of men, as you'd agree, would not want to listen to that. No, she'd be like, "Hey, this thing does not have system."
That N word, as men, we must make it red. The moment you hear no,
Yes.
it's like an electric fence.
Absolutely.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna have some sort of document next to the bed where she signs every
No,
5
just
minutes.
listen. No, just listen.
Really, Emmanuel.
But the moment you hear an M,
Yes.
Yes.
run away.
Yes.
M, you run
I
away.
agree with you,
Things
Samuel.
are
Thank
thick,
you
my
so
brother.
much.
Thanks for calling. Keep it Spice FM.
Yeah, that guy has a very legitimate
Yes.
concern
Yes.
about the seriousness of this issue.
And I hope
Because
we've
it landed
answered.
people
no,
in
but he
trouble
also
a few
answered
weeks
himself.
ago.
Samuel is an intelligent man. He says when you hear no and the body language is
It's different.
contrary to what you are trying to further, then you put a stop to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
There's a
interesting.
gentleman by the name of Pia Skipto. He says sexual consent is an agreement to participate in sexual activity. Asking for consent is all about setting your personal boundaries, respecting your partner. This usually applies in the case where you love and respect your partner. For those in unrespected category, only a bottle or 2 is good to go. In that case, it is not consensual.
I think, Manuel, one of the things, it's while it's very easy to talk about consent, I think when it comes to doing,
It's
the
very
do,
difficult,
It
that's true.
becomes very difficult. And I know
Yeah.
even tonight, while guys are going out to party, we need to also have the conversation around men's inability to disassociate from materialism or the amount of money you spent on a woman, say at a club,
Yes.
to now giving you access to her body.
Yes.
Those are two
Or
different
even
things.
normally the amount of
Yes.
money you've sent to
Yes,
her,
yes,
whatever
yes.
it is.
Those are very two different things. 'Cause,
Don't you think guys have just been following the script which has been running for years on end?
But that is what has gotten people into
and
trouble.
we need to disabuse that. So we've met at a pub and you've bought me elaborate amounts of drinks and now you food, I ate, and you also agreed to send me 5,000 shillings because my mother had swallowed a mapera and it went to her windpipe.
This is your mother, Mapera.
Now, that is not a consent for you. That is not it does not equate consent. I don't become now your property because you've been buying me shots.
Yes.
Or because you paid part of my school fees.
True.
Or heck, even because you've built me a house.
Oh, you're paying rent.
No. No, it's true.
Look at the way you're saying. It's like you're not believing these things.
No, it is true.
So
Yes.
you just receive. Okay, I'm not saying you should take a.
No, you see, it takes two to tango,
Yes.
Emmanuel. If I call you and say, build me a house, then you decide in your wisdom or lack thereof to build me a house.
Yeah, you're dumb.
All right?
Yes.
And then now after building me the house, which I asked, I didn't rob you. I've
You
asked.
agreed.
You agreed to build me a house.
Willingly.
Now, that does not mean that you need to come with your erection and penetrate me because you built me a house.
Yes.
And I have the right, even after you built me an elaborate
To
house,
say no.
to say no. So I think a lot of us, for me, that is the takeout for me, that everybody owns their body enough to say no whenever they want.
Yes.
Regardless of the investment you feel you've put in place for.
Well, I have a question. When you're married, I don't know if you guys have information on this. If you're married and you know in marriage, you see even the Bible says you have to give the act to your partner. You know?
Msinyimane ila kwa
Yes.
kukubaliana. It
Thank
says
you.
yes.
I wanted to give him that.
So
Illa.
you quote,
Meaning
you
there's
didn't quote
consent.
It fully. You
There's-
didn't quote it fully. The Bible
Yes.
says, don't deny each other except for agreeing for a time.
Yes.
So even prior to denying, you
You know-
agree that
yes.
I am denying you for 3 days.
Yes.
When you agree, babe, now I'm
Not
giving
now.
you. So
Yeah.
in fact, the
There's
Bible is very
consent.
clear on consent.
And how about, is there a punishment for like if you take it from your wife without consent?
Sweetheart, that's assault. Sexual
They
assault.
should be. They should.
There
I think
is-
there
is
is
there?
actually.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
I'm
many
not
people
sure.
don't know about it, and many people don't speak about it. Both men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the idea is this, Kisiangani. You need to always ask for sexual consent.
Not
to your
assume it's
couple,
automatic.
Even if you've been married for 60 years, all the time. The idea that you are married, we've been together for 60 years, I can just walk in on you. You see, this is not a car that
Yes.
you can reverse and drive all the way
And
to
married
Nyeri.
men have this bad habit of coming in at night, wherever you've come
And
from.
you're smelling of alcohol.
You're smelling of alcohol. You enter your bed. Then you think by raising your leg and putting it on top of the woman that is the sign.
Let's speak about
That is very bad.
Spice FM. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Feli Sokot from Kisumu.
Yes.
What are your views on today's topic?
In fact, I'm very happy about the topic you're bringing about. Actually, what I wanted to say, and I'm agree with Barbara on the character number 2. I think that when she said that you should keep on asking
Yeah, ongoing.
and ongoing. You see?
Yes.
Sex is all about how you feel and how you discuss with your partner. It's not all about forcing yourself to do something. You see? And actually, the problem with women is that we are never patient. You see?
Yeah.
Because you find maybe your partner today may say that I'm not in the mood. You see? And actually, as a man, you will always just say no. Maybe he has his own reason why he's saying that. You are not patient about it.
Yes.
So the day you will decide now to maybe accept the act, you yourself will not be in the mood. So I think always sex is all about how you treat your partner. And for how long have you been doing it? Okay.
Thank you so
So
much. for
I
it.
think. Thank you so much. Actually, I'm very happy.
You are concluding. You're saying
You think?
I was saying, I think we need to be patient, and again, we need to always give our partner time.
Yes.
It's not all about how the act, how you do it. Actually, when they said that, when you said that, I was listening. By the time you were saying that, if a lady went to a chief place saying that the partner was forcing himself maybe to be on the back. You see, actually, this is someone you have been with for certain time, and you have been maybe she has been giving it to you every now and then. Yeah, I think you're supposed to be satisfied with the way she do it. Okay?
All right.
And I think the moment you just come out and maybe start creating your own way of doing it, I think actually
even the lady should summon you. Why today? Why are you forcing me to do it this way?
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, I think women, you need to be patient about the act.
All right. Thank you so much, Kenneth.
Emmanuel, I just want to react to what Kenneth has said. I think sex is about connection. If you both feel respected, I think you're going to have a much better time having sex. So if you want to force me in a particular position that I don't feel comfortable, say you want my neck to pinda because you saw it in some movie or magazine.
Which is okay, but
Yeah, but if I am not okay with it, unless you want to turn your own neck and have sex with yourself,
Yes.
then you can do that. But I think it's very important that sex is about connection. Both of you should feel respected, and it will be much better all the way for the both of you.
Yeah, there's a gentleman by the name of James Nyeri. He's actually opposing what we're saying. He says men have feelings as well, and they cannot be turned on and off at will. That is very dangerous, James. You need to be careful. At some point, if you get a woman who says no in between, I think you need to just turn off.
That's an excellent question to you, Barbara.
Yes.
There's this saying that when she says
there's no, she means yes. I think that is why I'm saying from the past we did not know much about this, and times have changed. Even there's a time comedians make jokes about it in Kenya that a lady woke up in someone's house, then asked, "Ati nilifikaje up?" I think you've seen those things online. To be very honest, those things are very offensive. Yes, people laugh about them, but when you sit down and think about them, they are offensive to women.
I love Emmanuel.
Yes, and they are propagating sexual assault.
I love Emmanuel. Sexual consent should never be implied.
Yes.
You know, the idea that you're yes and you're no, it should be
very
very
clear.
Two avenues.
How about
words?
But you appreciate maybe a wishy-washy lady who keeps saying yes, then again no, then yes.
Remember the fourth thing we
Then
said,
no
it needs to
again.
be clear, ongoing, coherent, and voluntary.
And also, I think, which is can be a slippery slope. Men, especially, because they are most of the time men are the perpetrators.
Yes.
But also, you remember the Mike Tyson case?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the lady said she was raped, then it turned out he didn't rape her.
Yes.
I think also women, if you're being honest, just say no, stand by it,
And
leave.
go.
Yeah, so if you're knowing and then you're yesing, it can also be bad and dangerous for the brothers.
Yes.
This is 94.4 Spice FM. We're gonna listen to some Babyface. Please don't touch that dial. We'll be picking your phone calls right on to until the top of the hour. Don't touch that dial. One of my favorite acts on the Spice FM music playlist, Babyface Edmonds, man, one of the best songwriters that has walked the face of the planet Earth. This is 94.4 Spice FM. My name is Emmanuel Kisiangani, and you're hanging out with the adults in the room. It is 9:06, and we appreciate each and every one of you who've tuned in. We're going to be taking your phone calls all the way till the top of the hour, and the number is 0719012600. And as usual, I'm in the studio with my favorite people on the planet Earth.
That is absolutely right. It's always delightful to have you on board, and thank you so much for choosing Spice FM, the home of 80s ballads and your absolute favorite spicy soul jams. My name is Eric Omondi. Remember, we are taking your phone calls on 0719012600. We would like to hear from you. Call and share your thoughts about where you're listening from and also your thoughts on the topic. A warm welcome to you in Kisumu County. If you're in Obunga, Riat, Manyata, Mamboleo, all the way down in Ahero, the number to call is not the number. The frequency to tune in is 102.5. And if you're down in Malindi, the county I also really love, Kijiwetanga, Gede, Mulimo, and Maweni, you are tuned in to 97.6 or 97.7.
I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolomani. I also welcome you to plug into our social media handles, that is Spice FM KE on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let us know what you think about the hot topic, understanding sexual consent. Eric, please read us some tweets.
All right.
No, Eric, before you read those tweets, I need to give Eric the weekend plan. And
you guys need to go for this rugby
I'm
Christie
telling
thing.
you, Barbara, this weekend from the 31st August to 1st September, Tusker Lager will be taking the party to RFUEA grounds for the 2019 Christie Sevens. Come watch 40 of the best rugby clubs in the country battle it out for the Christie Sevens title. After the rugby, the action moves to the Tusker after party featuring the Sailors Gang, the Council, DJ Bash, and DJ Kalonzo. Kalonje.
That's right. There'll be chances to win instant prizes as you enjoy the rugby and the cold Tusker Lager throughout the tournament. Join the conversation online. You can hit us up on Twitter at Tusker Lager, Instagram at Tusker Lager KE, and like our Facebook page, Tusker Lager. And don't forget to join the hashtag Rugby na Tusker while talking about the matches. Excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health, not for sale for persons under the age of 18. Do not drink and drive.
That's amazing, Eric. I think we have our weekend locked.
Eric, before you read those tweets, there's a gentleman by the name of Benoit Haron.
Yes.
Good conversation. But what if I'm really turned on and she says no? Will it be wrong if I go look for it outside? Locked from South Coast Diani. For my response to Aaron, as I said, if you're not able to get it at home or get it from this girlfriend of yours and she's refused, please go outsource. I'm still saying that, and people think it's funny.
No, I don't think you should. I don't think that's right. That's just.
She said no.
No, yeah, wait.
And she's not your wife.
Even if she's not your wife, just wait till the time when she'll say yes. Maybe she's not in the mood today, but she'll be in the mood tomorrow.
Also,
Aaron, they're saying you wait.
Running out to go outsource would be detrimental to your relationship.
Also, nobody, again, as I always say, ever died from lack of ejaculation. We have the ability to exercise some discipline, especially self-discipline. If you can wait a little while, say you're stuck in traffic. What's his name?
Aaron.
Aaron and what?
Say if you're stuck in traffic and he's coming into Nairobi, the way Nairobi sometimes is laden with traffic, he will not now start stabbing the driver so that he reaches faster. He will sit there patiently and maybe make arrangements with the people waiting for him so that they wait. So self-discipline is something all of us can do.
Aaron, you've had self-discipline, my dear.
There is a gentleman here whose tweet I want to read. His name is Michael Wanga. He's not saying where he's tweeting from, but he says, allow your partner to make choices about whether or not they are comfortable having sex with you without any pressure. Be given freely. This applies to both men and women.
Yes.
Another gentleman here, I think his name is Cleric Odongo. He says, what's the line between conjugal rights and consent? I think, to answer Cleric Odongo, not that I'm a specialist in this field, but that you're married to somebody does not mean they own you own them or they own you.
That's true.
They have the ability to say no, whether you're married to them or not. And I think, as Emmanuel was saying earlier, you can wait it out. If they don't feel like it today, chances are they'll feel like it on Wednesday or Monday or Thursday. They don't have to feel it when you feel like it.
That is true.
Yeah.
Eric, let's pick a phone call. Oh man, we just lost it just as I was picking it. Please call again.
The number to call is 0719012600. Call and let us know what your thoughts are on the
Spice FM, hello.
Hello, Spice FM.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We're fine. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Pinka Nyandieka. Someone just read it wrongly. I don't know Nyankieka, but I'm Nyandieka.
Nyandieka, I'm sorry, my darling. I read your name wrongly. Welcome to the show, and let me know what you think.
So for me, I had said that sexual consent is just agreeing to participate in a sexual activity. Before being sexually with somebody, you just ask that person if he or she is willing to do that or not. And if they don't want to do that, you just leave them. For me, and there are 5 things that sex include. Number 1, it's freely given. Consenting is a choice you make without pressure, manipulation. And number 2, it's reversible. Anyone can change their mind about what they feel.
Yes.
Doing it or not doing it anytime. Number 3, you have to be informed. You can only consent to something if you have the full story. For example, if someone says they'll use a condom and they don't, that there isn't full consent about that. And number 4, it's enthusiastic. When it comes to sex, you should only do stuff you want to do. Not things that you feel you are expected to do.
Yes.
Number 5, it's specific. Saying yes to one thing, like going to the bedroom to make out, doesn't mean you said yes to others, like having sex. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling. Keep it spice, my darling.
Okay, welcome.
That was a very elaborate and concise
And
she went in.
and passionate, yes.
Absolutely. And you see, the other thing that a lot of gents and ladies who are in the habit to refuse somebody's wishes is that these things leave very deep imprints in somebody's life, you know. If you abuse me sexually, you're causing me trauma and a lot of fear and pain, and you can even transmit a disease. So I think if person A says no, you can look for person B, C, D, and further down the line before you get to Z, you'll have found somebody who's willing to.
Yes. And that's where my theory for outsource.
Somebody who can eat your banana.
No, actually, another thing is consent is not silence. Silence is not consent.
Yes.
So we should not confuse it that, for example, you ask me and I keep quiet, I look at you. It does not mean that I'm agreeing to that.
So you...
I need to verbally or my body language should speak. Yes.
So what if you use your eyebrows?
You assumed. And then I come and say, how did you know? It's very dangerous, Kisiangani. It's a very tricky balance.
Maybe you've shaved off your eyebrows. Yeah?
And you know, we usually do that. We
I
draw
don't know
them.
your expression. So you look like you're saying yes. But I get you, Barbara.
Yeah.
I get you, man.
Do you have a caller on the line? Or
I have a caller on the line, but before I get to this caller, I need you guys to know about Travelog so that you can get to know where you can travel to over the weekend.
and
Like
make sure
Eric,
you get
love-
consent for that.
Yes, Eric, you love to travel, man. Have you gone through the Travelog?
I totally have, and I have a few destinations lined up. Yes.
Yeah, you should try Watamu. Watamu is an awesome destination.
Are you invited?
I've been there like 11 times.
You've been to Watamu?
No, change the destinations.
Seriously?
Yes, I have.
Go to Turkana. They have a
Barbara
very-
loves this Turkana.
It has a very
You know,
beautiful
Turkana
beach.
is 900 kilometers from Nairobi.
So that you can do a chopper.
But nowadays there are flights to
Yes.
Turkana.
It's quite far. Anyway, yeah.
You're hanging out with the adults in the room, and please don't touch the dial. We're going to be taking your phone calls all the way to the top of the hour. So if you're calling, please don't give up. We're going to get through to you. SFM, you hang out with the adults in the room, and the time now is 9:16 in the evening, and we thank you. If it's your first time riding this ride with us, we want to welcome you. We are here every day from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and we have these amazing conversations every day of the week. And remember, the number to call is 0719 012600. I'm going to repeat that, 0719 012600. We're going to be picking your calls all the way till the top of the hour.
And if you're stuck in the office for one reason or the other, worry not. What you simply need to do, remember Spice FM being the first radio coming alive in visual format. You just open your PC or your phone, go to www.spicefm.co.ke. We are talking about, or rather seeking to understand, sexual consent. The number we urge that you call us on is 0719012600. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Money. I also invite you to plug into a social media that is Spice FM KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We shall be sampling some of your views. And as Eric and Emmanuel have said, the number to call in is 0719 012600.
And Eric, I'm telling you, the decks are all yellow, so we're going to go straight right in and pick a phone call. Spice FM, hello.
Spice, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Now, I'm calling from Nairobi and one day.
Yes,
Now, this is amazing.
I know.
You people, you completely say it. Now we stop having sex and we just be very careful. We provide security for ourselves. Let me ask you.
No, we've not said
because-
that. We are just telling you, be cautious in your escapades.
Let's be honest here.
Yes.
Trust you me, the legal fee is very expensive in this country and nobody wants to get involved in such issues.
Yes.
Anyway, now moving forward, what I wanted to say, how do you handle people who do not communicate when they are actually more or less emotionally involved or they are steamed up for this, all right? They don't know how to communicate. They don't go verbal.
I could send them the sexual act for Kenya.
Leave him alone.
I
What
can
about
send the sexual act and tell them, just so that we are in tandem, your silence, is it meaning yes or no? Because as you look at subsection 2, subarticle 4, it says
Silence.
when I do something to you while you're silent, I'll be incarcerated. So please help me so that we do something agreeable.
And how is their body language?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, because there are people who are, you try a move, you see they are comfortable with the move, and you try moving with that. So again, that one again is really misleading. And as I heard Nani say, my wonderful lady from Ikolomani,
Yes.
that's the best way now to handle this is either, if you don't see it going through the way you'd wish or what you're thinking, then you better outsource. And I
Yes.
see there are spiritual guys there who are against that idea.
Imagine. Because I don't want you to get into trouble.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the best way. If things, because you don't know how it's going to go, they might consent now, and just when you are in the beat of it, you are almost, swimming across the river.
They
then
say
just
stop.
midway. Yeah, they say stop. So you don't know whether you shoot off or sorry for that.
But Omondi, don't you think it's it seems to be a very tough time for men, especially right now?
Yeah.
Completely tough. Trust me, it's completely tough, because everything else there's a legal tag to it.
Yes.
Right? So we don't know whether if I hold your hand is a crime or it's not right. We don't know if I say high five and you don't respond and I keep on insisting whether we go to jail for that. We don't know. I don't know whether if I compliment you for a wonderful dress you're putting on is wrong. I might actually be taken in for that. We just don't know where the boundary is, where it starts and where it ends.
It's quite a thin line, my dear.
But
Yeah, it's quite a thin line, but we will survive. We are men.
Yes.
Survive. Thank you so much for calling, sir.
Yeah, but
All right.
Oh, sorry,
I've
Katia.
cut him short when he was about to conclude his point.
Yes. No, I think Omondi makes an interesting point when
Yes.
he talks about somebody who practices mutism. I think for purposes of clarity, I would ask, and truly, I know it sounds funny, but I'll send that person the sexual act.
I remember one time I was getting some employment somewhere, and it was a contract, and there was a place where you sign the contract, and then also they said I sign all the pages, just to make sure I've read all the pages and I understand.
Yes, so that you don't come back.
Yeah, so you're going to come back. So it looks like
Yeah,
the
that's-
chick has to sign all, and you also, you have to sign
It wouldn't be
both,
bad
all
also
the
that you're
pages.
You're just like Auma. Do you understand that your silence can put me in trouble?
Yes.
If she does not understand, then
This
you
idea of you
don't-
being mute
don't
needs to
pursue.
stop.
Yeah.
I think women also need to speak up.
I tell you what, Barbara, let's pick this phone call. Spice FM, hello. Hello.
Yeah, this is Luke again.
Hi, what's your name again and where are you calling from?
It's Luke. I called yesterday, but I couldn't continue. I'm the guy from Homewood, Somalia.
Oh, Somalia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
What are your thoughts about today's conversation?
My thought is very clear. I've been putting down some points. And what I've realized is that number one is trust.
Trust.
So, yeah, both of you should trust each other. That's the time. So, primary, let's say, like, let's put the fact first. When having sex, we both must be in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
And in this kind of what kind of relationship are we?
Uh-huh.
So these are one of the things we should consider. And also the second thing is maybe religion. Let's say, for example, like I was lucky enough to get a girlfriend from a different religion, which is truly. I have a Muslim girlfriend. There's a certain way which she told me about what they should look at. And at my position, I looked at what we should look at. And I found out that these things are a little bit similar. So we should consider each other and also each other's emotion and history of maybe sex. Maybe they are sexually abused, knowing or unknowingly. Yeah, and I was please asking if you could kindly play for me a song to my girlfriend who is in Kenya right now. She's called you now. I would like if you could play for me Caribbean Queen to go to her. She's in Mombasa now.
Caribbean Queen to your sweetheart in Mombasa.
Yeah, she's called you now.
All right, I'll make sure our super producer slots it in. Thank you so much for calling all the way from Somalia.
Thank you.
So
That was deep.
yeah, that was quite deep. I think the conversation is just around trust, understanding each other, and then the environment has to be conducive. There can't be one person imposing themselves on the other person for it to be consent.
No, but I think there's also a very thin line between that I trust you doesn't mean that you cannot violate my privacy.
That's
right?
true.
So I think we are speaking from different sides of the coin. He's talking about elements of maybe a good relationship, but it's very possible. In fact, a lot of women and men, there's a huge Me Too campaign that has been going on in the US.
Yes.
And women, if you hear their stories, they are saying the producer, the uncle, the guy I knew very well.
Yes, the teacher.
friend to my mother, the teacher who picked me up. Those are the people who are performing heinous sexual acts.
Yes.
Yeah. So in fact, the person who rapes or even performs, let's say, a sexual assault upon another person, it's never really.
It's
a
very
person
familiar.
perfect. It's
Majority
very
of them.
familiar.
Yeah.
So I'd be careful not to say that we work on trust and then that will cancel out on consent. Consent is different, and so is
It's
trust.
trust.
Yeah.
All right. Let's pick another phone call.
Yeah.
Spice FM, hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
I'm Barbara from Kisumu.
Hi, Barbara. Please reduce the volume of your radio.
Hi, Barbara. Please reduce the volume of your. Okay.
And let us know
I'm
what
Deborah.
you. Yes.
Deborah, how are you? And thanks for calling Spice.
I'm very fine, thank you. You see, it's a matter of agreeing and understanding. If you don't understand your partner, then things won't work out between you two, you know.
Yes.
If she doesn't want or he don't want to make up that day, you really don't have to go outside and look for someone else.
Yes.
Because he or she won't disagree today, tomorrow, or 3 times consecutively. That would be absurd, you know. Yeah. So if she or he decides like today I'm not feeling like, just give her or him time.
Yes.
Try tomorrow.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you
So
so
it's
much,
just a
Deborah.
matter-
Thank you so much, Deborah, for calling. We appreciate your feedback.
Yes, we do. Keep it Spice.
Yeah, I think Deborah is totally right. That story of outsourcing is also bad manners. It's testament to your inability to control yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and your cheating ways. But I've often told people that
Not.
Barbara,
Let me tell. No. I will defend that statement.
Yes.
I will defend that statement. The reason I've said that there are people who are in relationships and married relationships,
who need
and
to
over
adjust.
yes, and over time, and over time, you find that people's urges or people's sexual desires are different. Even when because we were not raised together, you were not raised with me, and what you do for your intimacy might not be pleasing to me. Some people are into bondage, some people are just missionaries. And that's why I say, if I am not able to please you, please get someone who can please you.
and then leave me or
Yes,
do what with
and
me.
don't force me to do things that I am not able to.
But as your wife
and that
now,
is why,
what do?
and those are the things.
Me, I can't hang in a chandelier, but you want someone who wants. We
There's
can't reach a
there's
compromise.
a book that has actually turned into a movie. I'll not want to give their name because they haven't paid us rights for that. But that is the same story where a relationship after 7 years, this man had never been satisfied sexually. And now he was looking for things. And the woman tried to accommodate this man for 2 years. It reached somewhere she could not do some of these stunts.
What's the name of the book? I think it's fine to mention it.
Eh?
What's the name of the book?
Billions.
Billions.
Yes.
All right.
No, the point I'm trying to make is, Barbara, I think, which is another conversation, is just having compromise.
Yes.
So I think one of the biggest problems we have in our generation, and I see it with a lot of young people, even guys our age,
Yes.
is that we are really instantaneous people.
Yeah.
Like if this door is not opening,
Yeah.
break the wall.
We're
we
called the microwave generation.
Yeah, we cannot wait on the lobby and
Yes.
just for purposes. There's a principle of process, as I was saying yesterday. Sometimes you crawl, and crawling can take 10 years. Then you walk another 15 years.
Yes.
Then you run another 20, and then you fly.
Something reminds me, someone said once, consent is like fries, like FRIES, that it's freely given, consenting, that was the F. For the R, that it's reversible. For the I, you need to be informed. For the E, it's enthusiastic. when they say when it comes to sex, you should only do stuff that you want, not what you're being forced to. And for the S, it's very specific. So when you stick to those things, freely given, irreversible, informed, enthusiastic, and specific.
Also, just for a guy listening, and maybe he doesn't have a pen and a paper to write this quickly, you can catch the show online, but you're in a matatu going home and you are wondering what the ABCs of it is. For me, and I think I can break it down to a guy, if the body language is contrary to what you're fathering, and if the word is no, then just stop.
Remember, some
Anything
people are
after
mute.
that,
We've just
anything
learned.
after that is rape. So stop.
Emmanuel is in shock. Even his eyes. Look at him. He's like, what are you talking about?
Hey, today is Friday. Your people's dreams are dying right now.
Even you at home, you need to ask Mrs. Kisiangani before you jump into actions.
And this is a dedication all the way from Luka in Somalia to Husna. I hope I've gotten the name right there in Mombasa. Your loving boyfriend, he loves you and he's dedicated that song to you. And I hope you've received it with love. My name is Emmanuel Kisiangani and you're hanging out with the adults in the room and we're having an amazing time in the studio. Our hot topic today is understanding sexual consent, and I'm just heaving and sighing for the sake of our brothers out there. We're going to have fun today. We're still picking up your phone calls all the way till the top of the hour. So if you've just joined us, you can call in and give us your views. The number is 0719012600. I'm going to take it again, 0719012600.
That is absolutely right. You're tuned into Sugar and Spice and everything nice. We are the adults in the room where we have no holds barred conversation about relationships and everything in between that matters between men and the women who love them. Remember, Spice FM is the fast radio coming in live in visual format. What that means is wherever you are with your phone or your PC, if you went to the internet, World Wide Web, and did www.spicefm.co.ke, you're gonna get to see us and also watch us. The number to call now is 0719 012 We are expecting your call, so you share some of your thoughts on the topic and also where you're listening from. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Ikolomani. Plug into our social media. Let us know what you think about the topic, understanding sexual consent. That is Spice FM Spice FM KE on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'll sample some of your views. There's a gentleman by the name of Samuel Kiprop. He said, consent should be verbalized. Tell me, make me understand before the act. I will respect that. But katikati ya mchezo, hiyo itakuwa mchezo.
Let's pick up what's called.
What's his name?
Samuel Kiprop. I even had to smile on it.
No,
Spice,
Katikati ya mchezo itakuwa mchezo.
Spice FM, hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Kevin from Eldoret.
Oh, karibu sana. What are your views on today's topic?
I think first you must be understanding. As in, you must understand your partner. When, for example, he says,
Oh man, we've just lost that brother.
I just wanted to respond to Samuel Kiprop. Sio mchezo, I think when anybody says no, as we were saying, and I think, Samuel, I would like to invite you to read the Sexual Act, Kenya.
For 2014, to be
Yes,
exact,
for
the revised
2014.
one.
If you think ni mchezo, you can find yourself with your hands really locked up. When somebody says no, Samuel, I think one of the things we ought to owe it to them is to respect their wishes. So you don't owe it past the no. So if they say no, you stop. You can
Yes.
go shower. You can call your aunt or your mom, just have a chat, and then next time, when she says yes all the way, you can continue.
But the mood will be very terrible. It'll be a very awkward looking phone call. Take you, nimefanyiwa hapo. That'll be, but it's better than spending some time in the coolers.
Yes, that's true.
Let's pick up a phone call. Spice FM, hello. Hello, Spice FM.
The volumes are high up.
Yeah, the volumes are high up.
Please turn down your volume before calling. The number to call is 0719-012-600. Put your volume down so we can hear you. Thanks.
All right, let's pick another phone call. Spice FM, hello.
Hello,
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
this is Asha.
Hello, Asha.
Hi, how are you? I'm calling you from Sudan.
Oh, from
Sudan.
Thank you so much, Asha, for calling. We are the adults in the room. How is Sudan going, and what are your thoughts on the topic?
We are good. How are you doing, guys?
We're good.
Well, very well. Thank you for calling.
I love the show, guys.
You do?
And I love the fact that you tune in from Sudan. Keep it spiced and keep it locked every day. Monday to Friday, we'll be here for you.
Thank you so much, guys. I always love your show.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. What are your thoughts on the topic?
According to me, okay, I was in love for 3 years. I don't know how the guy. Okay, I get find out the guy. Okay. I don't know. He even break my heart. I even don't know what to talk about it.
Just fight through it. Ah, man, she's hung up.
Oh, sorry, darling.
Maybe it was really tough to.
Yes.
to
Get
share
yourself
whatever.
together, and if you can call back, please do.
Yeah,
All the
'cause
way
she's-
from Sudan. Thank you so much. What's her name?
Asha.
Asha. Thank you, Asha, for calling. And sorry about the heartache, eh?
Yeah.
You
It
see
will
what
go
you
away.
people do to us. You see.
No, it will
What
go
your
away.
relatives and your
Also,
brothers do
maybe
to
she
us.
can write her experience to Barbara, and Barbara can see if she can share it with us.
Yes, that
Because
is
maybe it's so hard to talk about it. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah,
Spice FM KE on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or you can write to me directly.
All right, let me pick another phone call. Spice FM, hello. Hello, Spice FM. Please turn down your radio. Hello. All right, if you call in and your radio is on, it'll there'll be a clash, so we won't be able to hear you very clearly.
Yeah, so please turn down the volume of your radio. The number to call is 0719 012 600. Call and share your thoughts about the topic today, and also let us know from where you're listening.
Spice FM, hello.
Hello, Professor.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Matthias,
Hi, Matthias.
and I'm calling from Motofia.
Yes.
Oh, Karibu
Yeah,
sana.
I think that the consent should come from both partners.
Yes, I also agree with that.
Yeah,
Oh, what do you mean? What do you explain yourself?
every
Explain what you mean.
every person should agree. The girl should agree, and the boy should agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you because, as we said, men also need consent.
All right.
Yeah.
So what'll happen?
Okay, I love the show. Yeah, I'm always a silent listener.
Thank you so much.
Please stop being a silent listener. Be calling us more often.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Thank you. Keep it spice.
What do you guys think of what he said? He said the consent should be from both parties
I
on a
agree.
continuous basis.
Yes, I agree. You know, sometimes I don't know. I don't
Are
know
you
if
guys
I'm allowed to
picturing
say
this
this.
picture?
No, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. You see, sometimes even as a man, you can be maybe a bit tired or you're not feeling, and the woman is on top and thrusting, and you're saying stop, and she's not listening. I think it's both ways. We should not only lean towards the woman, but as Eric said earlier, even him, he's felt sexually harassed at some
Not
point.
felt, I have been.
So how does it work?
But the women who spank me stop. It is not nice to spank people. I think, Kisiangani, you're being quite literal with that gentleman. I think what it means is, if say we are making out and the guy says no.
Yes, listen.
Because the guys also so I have a bunch of my friends who are married, married men, and they keep telling me one of the hardest things sometimes for them when they go back home and they've had a big dinner and they just want to rest, and the wife is so insistent on
Yes.
on wanting.
Don't laugh, Kisiangani. This is a very serious thing.
On wanting
They
to
start reaching.
Yes, they reach and reach and reach, and it's uncomfortable. So the guy just wants to sleep. In fact, a friend of mine said he was once so tired, he woke up and went to the living room. He just wanted some peace of mind.
Yes.
So when somebody says no,
No,
it cuts
listen.
across. I think the gentleman is saying, if the no is coming, be it coming from the man or the woman, we ought it to
To
you
listen.
ought to respect.
Yeah.
Asha from Sudan is calling back. Let's pick a call.
All right.
Spice FM, Asha, you're back.
Hey,
Hi, you got cut off for a moment there.
yes, I'm back. But I was telling you, okay, I was in love. But I was heartbroken. Because my husband, he slept with my friend. The way how he slept with my friend, okay, my friend, she come and tell me. After my friend tell me how they slept together, okay, I was confused, yeah?
I decided, I was planning to kill myself, but I didn't know what to do. Then after that, my friend herself, she killed herself.
Oh, that is such a
Because
shame.
she knew that she has wronged me. Since from that, my husband, what he did, he left me. He left me with one kid, and I never tried to see him again.
Asha,
I don't know what. Yes.
I'm very happy, a very strong woman that you've made even this call. If you're able to, my handle is Barbara Mbaka. You can DM me privately. We can have a private conversation on it. That is either on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Just DM me privately. We can have a conversation on this. And I'm very proud of you for standing strong. Remember to live for your child. You have a child to live for. So even if things have gone bad in your life, you can still stand up strong and shine, my darling.
Okay, the thing is this. He even denied the child, yeah? He told me the child is not for him. And if I need him for sex in the house, I must pay him so we can be together with him, me to buy him, you know? Okay. I decided to go back to my parents.
Oh, okay. It's good you made that decision. We'll be going off the air in a few seconds, but you can DM me directly because we're going on a break. I will be happy to talk to you or call me. Thank you. We'll have your number. Our producer will get in touch.
Thank you so much, Asha, for calling. That was a very heartfelt phone call. And this is what we're here for, and the adults in the room, to have this authentic and real conversations. And this is what we're going to be doing all the time that we're here. Am
Absolutely,
I right, guys?
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Thank you so much for calling all the way from Sudan. We appreciate that phone call. Thank you.
All right, Eric, let's go on a very short break. We'll be back. We're here to spice up your life. You're hanging out with the adults in the room, and this is 94.4 Spice FM, and we appreciate you if you've been with us from the beginning all the way till now, or if you joined us along the journey. We appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, we are taking your phone calls, and the number is 0719-012-600. The number is 0719-012-600. We're going to be taking your phone calls all the way to the top of the hour.
That is absolutely right. A very quick shout out to our friend and brother Levi Kones and his daughter are celebrating their birthday on the same day. He's listening all the way from Komarok. Remember, the number to call is 0719-012-600. Call and share your thoughts on the topic, and also let us know where you're listening from. Remember also that Spice FM is the first radio coming live in visual format. What that means is, if you're stuck in the office or wait for traffic to thaw, or if you're on your phone in a matatu, simply go to www.spicefm.co.ke and get to hear us and also watch us. My name is Eric Omondi.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Equal Money. You can plug into our social media handles, that is Spice FM KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I shall be sampling some of your views. Would like to give a shout out to Geoffrey Morgana. Thanks for listening from Utawala. You say sexual consent is the best with your spouse, since agreeing both of you to take part in the act, participating, you will enjoy joyous moments like fire. Then he has decided to put 7 flames on his on this comment.
There's a gentleman called Michael Wanjala who sent a very interesting text. I think it's on a light note. He says, you go to the bedroom and shout Wamlambez. If she responds Wamnyonyez, that's consent. I think that is a very silly text from Mike.
Wow, I have no comment for that.
That is terrible.
That is wow.
I think let's pick a phone call, and then we can get back to your parting shots. 94.4 Spice FM. Hello.
Hello, this is David from Nanyuki.
How are
Hello,
you,
David.
I guess when from the word go,
Yes.
because there was consent, so when you get on the room, it's all.
Pardon me?
You need to work it all. So that you don't need to care about whatever happens because you had agreed before.
So for you, I want to propose that I will send you, or go look up the sexual consent, the revised one for 2014. because your thoughts might get you into trouble if you're not careful. If you get a wrong woman, someone might actually land you in jail.
He's actually hung up, but that was interesting. That was an interesting.
No,
view.
it's very important that we need to emphasize that you have the say-so from commencement
To the
the
end.
middle of it to the end.
Yes.
So if somebody says no, say they're feeling pain or they change their mind in the midst of it, you cannot say, but you know what? Earlier on, 52 minutes ago, you had said yes. So now we have to continue.
I've
That will
changed my mind.
tantamount to rape. So yeah, so you have consent is all the way, every way to the end.
Yeah, all the way to the end.
Yes, yes.
And that sexual Nini act is actually quite scary.
Yes, if you read it. It's
And
very
we're not
nice.
scaring men. We're just revealing
Yeah,
to you
we
what
are.
the
Not even
information.
women.
We're just revealing. Like me, I'm just. It's like a clarion call for me for men, just to have this information in your head,
Yes.
so that you don't get into any trouble, man.
In fact, after reading it, however condition you're in, you'll really go flaccid. Eh? Yeah, you'll go flaccid. If you're thinking,
You'll be like, no, I'm okay.
if
I'm
you're
good.
thinking to be forceful, you can really. But really, for purposes of humanity, don't be forceful. It's
Let's
terrible.
speak a phone call.
Yes.
Spice FM, hello.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Your name is?
My name is Enoch from Kisumu.
Enoch.
Enoch from where? Oh man, I think Enoch's line is a bit messed up.
Yeah. So as I was saying that it's very important. The gentleman who called before Enoch was saying that if you're consented, and I think I made a point that earlier. Because you see, you can push it all the way further down. You'd be like, she consented in January. We are in August, but she agreed in January.
For him, he's saying if she consented
said
earlier in the room
said
when
yes.
we are, so when we go continue 2 hours later, it's for you it's a
no,
go.
that is wrong. Because somebody else can argue because she had consented over Christmas. Now we are in August. Because she had agreed that time, she can equally have agreed now. So consenting once does not mean consent forever.
Spice FM, hello.
Yes.
Hi. How are you doing?
Yeah. I'm good.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
All right. I'm calling from Mombasa.
What's your name?
And my name is Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Okay. My name is Kingstar. That is my artist name.
Oh, okay. Kingston, what do you think about today's topic?
All right.
You'll have to switch on your radio. You switch off your radio so that we can hear you clearly.
The topic is very good. And one thing people must consider is that there are so many things happening when it comes to sexual consent. So there's so many things to be considered because sometimes you want to have sex with a lady, and there is something they hide on their hands. You know it.
No, I don't. Please enlighten us.
There is something like a not plant.
Oh, you're talking about a contraceptive.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody has something, means the cells are sleeping. She never can wake up immediately.
I think the connection is a bit off. Yeah, I think the connection is a bit off. I couldn't hear him. I think his radio was on, so I couldn't hear him.
It kept bouncing
clearly.
back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think he was on about?
I am not quite sure how contraceptive and consent was. I hope you can call back and clarify that.
Yeah, hopefully you can call back and clarify.
Pick another call.
Mr. Kingston from Mombasa, if you can't, try again and call back.
All right, absolutely. Remember the number to call is 0719012600. We are here talking about and trying to get our heads around understanding, or rather better understanding, sexual consent. What are some of your thoughts and views? The number to call, Emmanuel, is
0719012600. And people are hearing your clarion call and the decks are yellow. Let's pick a call. Spice FM, hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Kevin. I'm calling from Kapsabet.
Karibu sana, Kevin. How are you and what are your thoughts on the topic, sir?
I'm just following this topic. I'm just I'll silent speak silent listener. Yes, but the topic is going very good.
Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on the topic? What are your views on sexual consent?
My views according to sexual consent is that I think both of you should be concerned, and somehow the lady should be somehow well known of it.
Yeah, he's hung up, and I think he agrees more or less that everyone should agree before you do it.
Yeah, just for clarity, both the gent and the lady should be on board about what it is they are doing. They should be in tandem so that they know it's not left alone for one person.
So, Barbara, what are your parting shots? Because it's almost the top of the hour.
For me, I'll end by saying consent, it needs to be clear. That is verbal permission or body language. As Eric had put it, it's an ongoing at every stage. If you're able to ask, can I remove your blouse? Can I do X, Y, Z? It is good to do that. Someone needs to be coherent. No one needs to be intoxicated. Drugs, these chips funga maneno need to end, and it needs to be voluntary. Freely given, freely willing. Let all parties, and when I mean both men and women, need to agree to this.
All right. I think for me, is a lot of life's success or failure mostly emanates from the decisions we make. So a very quick 7 or 10 minutes of forceful sex can take a very different turn about your life to a very negative trajectory. And also for respect's sake, for humanity's sake, I mean, we are not animals. We are not beasts either. So you remember the person you're trying to have sex with is somebody's daughter, somebody's mother, somebody's aunt, and even the man you're trying to force to have sex with is somebody's uncle, brother, sister. So just for purposes of sanity, upon somebody saying no, then you want to respect it. But the repercussions are really dire.
Yeah, and for me, I think the clarion call would be to the men out there that we should, even me, we should be very familiar with that act, not just for the sake of knowledge, like so that we share it among ourselves. Because when you're telling these stories of your conquests with your friends, you know, it sounds like a very harmless thing, but you don't know the trouble that you might get yourself into.
Also, just to tie with what you say, the conversation needs to change from just women complaining to men.
Yes, I agree with that.
Men having conversation amongst themselves and educating themselves so that a no means a no across the board.
Yeah, fair enough. Barbara, what are you up to from here?
I'm actually, I want to dash into one of my small businesses. There's something I need to check then before I call it a night.
The entrepreneur in the building.
Yes, and I've missed some of my girls, so I'll be catching up with them. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
How about you, Eric?
I'll go home and just rest, man. It's been a long week.
Yes.
All right, me, I'm going to catch up with some comedians who are having a show somewhere in Upper Hill.
Oh,
so I think I'll go join them. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been 94.4 Spice FM. We are the adults in the room. We're going to be back here on Monday at 7 o'clock sharp, all the way to 10 o'clock. And we invite you to do this again and to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend about this amazing show where we have authentic conversation and we listen to the amazing soul music. My name is Emmanuel Kisengani.
Mine is Eric Omondi. It's always good to have you on board. Until next week, adios.
And I am Barbara Mbaka, also known as the Duchess of Economani. Thanks for tuning in. Have a lovely weekend. God bless you and be safe.
On behalf of our super producer Mumbi and our digital master Dennis Masinde, we wish you a very nice weekend. See you on Monday in the Situation Room at exactly 6 o'clock in the morning. Goodbye and have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye.
Spice FM. Spice up your life.